All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Kane's Wrath Vanilla Mania 1 vs 1 tournament hosted proudly by GameReplays.org. We are about to get underway here relatively shortly. I apologize for the somewhat late start. I'm dealing with some technical issues as well as some health issues, so gotta take care of them vocal cords. But I seem to have everything squared away right now. I've got my ginger ale standing by. We are good to go, so hopefully we'll be all right. I do apologize in advance, everybody, if you do hear me kind of cutting off my mic every once in a while. I have been very sick over these last few days, and it's gotten a bit better, but it's still lingering about. So I'm gonna do my best to try to power through it today, just trying to keep that positive, upbeat attitude. But I'm gonna remind you guys it's 7 o'clock in the morning here, so you guys should be thanking me very much for being up this early, as it would never happen otherwise. But no, I'm actually thanking you guys. You're the only reason that I actually wake up on a Sunday at least before noon, because otherwise I would sleep in. But all of that nonsense aside, we are waiting right now on the brackets to be finalized. I don't know if they actually have been. Let me take a quick look. Nope, I don't see the bracket just yet. So we are waiting on that to actually be finalized at this point. I would imagine that will be done in the very near future. I can see that the majority of the players, if not all of them, are already in the lobby here. I do see that Phantom and Toxic Shock are here, most likely working out the details behind the scenes here, just getting everything ready to go. So we're just waiting on them to finalize things, and then we'll be jumping straight into some matches. So Vanilla Mania, if you guys are not aware, it is a vanilla-only tournament, so you only have 3 factions to choose from: Nod, GDI, and Scrin. So with that said, I'm predicting a lot of GDI and Nod play today. Scrin, not the most favorite faction of pretty much anybody out there, but then again, we may see some Scrin play. I know TiberianFuture's here. I know he's a great Scrin player, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him as being the driving force behind the Scrin today, and maybe some other players will also choose to go with that. And the thing with this is that since it is vanilla only, there's no random, so you have to choose a faction. You'd think, hey, maybe it would be cool to be able to do random between the 3 vanilla factions, but I'm afraid that just can't be the case, just due to the fact that if you select random, you could end up with one of the sub-factions, and that would throw the whole tournament out of whack. So we're sticking with the vanilla factions today. Going to be some straight-up GDI, Nod, and Scrin action. I'm certainly looking forward to it. And I would say probably the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to today is maybe seeing some Vertigo Bombers and some Stealth Tanks. I have not seen either one of those things used in a very long time. Vertigo Bombers probably more rarely than Stealth Tanks, but I love the Stealth Tank play. It's so deadly and it's so frustrating to play against, but man, watching somebody just abuse somebody with some Stealth Tanks, it's pretty hilarious to watch. So, yeah, still vamping just a little bit here, just waiting for these brackets to be updated. I'm not quite sure exactly where we're at in that process. It's looking like we're approaching that 15-minute mark, so if we're waiting for any players, I would imagine that time's going to expire pretty soon. So, we should be getting underway here momentarily, everybody. Be sure to stick around. I hope you guys are all having a fine morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. And, yeah, I think we're in for some good games today, so be sure to stick around. Alright everybody, it looks like brackets have been posted, so I am going to pop this up really quickly and we're going to blast through these brackets because it is a fairly short bracket today. So let's see if we can do that now. Okay, cool. Alright, so here is the bracket. Let's get the maps. Where's the maps? Okay. maps. Oh, where's the maps? Here we go. Okay, so round of 16 going to be kicking off on Tiberium Zone. We are going to be seeing Masterleaf getting a free win out of the round of 16. These will be best of 3 rounds. And Jake White going to be facing off against Granola 17. TiberianFuture going to be facing off against Dimitri CNC. It's going to be Death Sentence versus Unknown. Dirty Dutch versus Randomness for the win, or FT, Randomness, FT. I've seen this guy a couple times. I don't really know who he is. I don't know if he's a mid or Smurf of somebody. But anyways, Encore facing off against yeah, it will be Encore versus, I believe, We Got the Rockets. He's showing up as Rockets here, so I believe that's his game replay's name. But Kimosabe versus Dragoon, or Dragon99. I think it's Dragon, yeah. Dragon99, and then Warstorm facing off against One Vision. So, not a huge number of players showing up today. It looks like we're getting about 15 people. But should end up with some pretty decent action nonetheless, and should be a relatively quick tournament in comparison to what we've had in the past, as we're eliminating a full round here. So, anyways, that's going to be a best of 3. It will be kicking off on Tiberian Zone, if I have my information correct. And yeah, it should be starting momentarily. So let's stop with the nonsense and see if we can find some games. Alright everybody, I seem to be having some issues with my 1.02 Plus. I'm not quite sure what is going on. I'm going to try to join a different game here. I was trying to get into Dimitri CNC versus TiberianFuture, but yeah, it doesn't seem to want to let me change. It's saying that I don't have the map packs. This makes no sense. Okay everybody, I'm afraid I have to do some detective work here to figure out what the hell is going on. Because I know for a fact that I have 1.02 Plus. So yeah, let me find out what's going on, and we'll be into some action. Alright everybody, it seems like I've managed to fix my problem here. I don't know what was going on. I had to repatch all of the 1.02 plus packs here. That seems to have fixed it. I don't know why. I mean, obviously I've been running on 1.02 plus since December 2nd, so very strange, but hey, we gotta have some technical difficulties. It just makes it more fun. To answer a couple questions here, how am I doing today, Sparty? I'm doing okay, DJ Chill. I'm feeling reasonably well. I've been actually pretty sick. Actually, let me answer this real quick question here. I believe it is Tiberian Zone. Okay. So, yeah, I've actually been really sick over the last few days. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitch at all, but I was streaming some Grey Goo preview. I think it was not earlier this week, but earlier last week. I think it was like Monday through Wednesday I was streaming pretty much every night. And my plan was to actually stream all the way through the week and then through the weekend, but I ended up getting very sick actually after my stream Wednesday, and I've been sick ever since. So, been dealing with that a little bit over the last couple days. It's reached a reasonable point today. I've been really kind of aiming to get myself to be, you know, at least usable today, so I could actually use my vocal cords. But yeah, it's going okay now. Aside from that, been doing pretty well. Let's see. Is there a way that I can make this chat windowed? Sonic Twilight, I believe that's Phantom. Not that I know of. That is one thing that I'm a little bit weary of with YouTube live streams, is I don't think you can do a whole lot with the chat. But hey, it is what it is. You can hide the chat if you want, but I know that's not what anybody wants. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're just going to have to deal with that one. But what else? I should play in the next tournament. Honestly, it wouldn't be worthwhile because I'm not going to make it out of the first round, and or even if I do, it's certainly not going to make it into the final rounds. And I'd much rather be casting. That's where I feel much more comfortable. It's where I enjoy myself a lot more. I enjoy playing the game, don't get me wrong, but I enjoy casting way more, and that's why you see me as a caster. So, yeah, that's pretty much the extent of that. Off-main Etery, is there a spot for me to observe? No, I'm afraid not, just due to the fact that it adds lag. And, hey, I mean, if you're here watching the stream, then there's no real reason for you to be in the observer. That's what I'm here for. And if you don't necessarily like the casting, then feel free to click that mute button. And you can enjoy watching the game from observer perspective. But granted, you're kind of locked to my vision. But hey, I feel like I cover pretty much everything. Looks like these guys are still trying to sort out what maps they play. I mean, told them already. It's Tiberian Zone. But yeah, just waiting for these guys to get underway here. Like they want to use Winter Meltdown. I don't know why. You guys are killing me right now. Round to 16, gentlemen. Tiberian Zone. Alright everybody, and welcome to this best of 3 series. We are kicking things off on Tiberium Zone. This is the round of 16, and spawning in the top of the map as the green GDI, we have Death Sentence. And down in the bottom of the map as the blue nod, we have Unknown. So let me just get the colors and faction, not factions, because we don't have factions, but yes, there we go. And it is, let's see if we can do scores today. Yeah, 0-0. So we got scores today. I've remembered to turn that on. And yeah, so Tiberium Zone, not a map that we see all too often, but it's going to be vanilla factions only. If you guys are just now joining us, this is the Kane's Wrath Vanilla Mania 1 vs 1 tournament. And we are getting kicked off here. Game number 1. So this is the first game that we're going to get to see, and it's the first game between these players. So they don't quite know exactly how to play one another out. I don't know how many games these guys have actually played against one another in the public lobbies, but we'll have to see nonetheless. So looks like we just got that harvester just cranking away on resources. So once again, just kind of getting some early scout engagements. It's going to be favoring Death Sentence, as he does have those superior rifleman squads. And on this map, I'm thinking GDI is actually not a bad idea, but I mean, Unknown with the Nod faction, Bike Buggy pretty powerful as well. The fact that this map is relatively large and has a decent amount of different pathways that you can get to your opponent, you can have a lot of opportunities to get in and jump somebody. So the map is a bit dark, so it's a little bit difficult to see these very dark colors as well. But we do have the militant squads just kind of chasing away the rifleman squads. It looks like they did take a bit of damage, maybe didn't want to fight that fight. And they're going to be continuing to chase them away. We have a Raider Buggy out here from Unknown. He wants to get into the base of Death Sentence and see what he's up to. But Death Sentence, he's just going eco play so far. Nothing too crazy. And it looks like it's going to be likewise for Unknown. He already has the second refinery down. A third harvester is out. But he's a little bit ahead of Death Sentence in that regard. Not a huge amount ahead. It's mostly due to the fact that those power plants are a little bit quicker to drop. But that second power plant does go down. And actually, Death Sentence, he's already packed up and gone for the expand. Going to be dropping that MCV down now, going to be going for that next power plant, I would imagine, and likely going to see some more harvesters. So yeah, it's going to be straight up eco play into an expansion here from these guys, and Unknown does have a pitbull down here, going to be harassing this MCV, and that's a little bit annoying because those MCVs do take a good bit of damage, and it will likely either force him to repair it or just be mindful of the fact that it is damaged. And Unknown returning the favor here. I'm sorry, that was Death Sentence's pitbull. And Unknown, it looks like his Raider Buggy here was just trying to mess with the pathing of that MCV. So, oh, actually, Death Sentence, or rather Unknown, I'm sorry, I keep getting these guys mixed up here. Unknown's MCV taking quite a bit of damage, gets down to about half HP there, but we'll be seeing that pitbull running away, and Shredder Turret being sold off, likely to just continue to force that guy away. But likely going to be seeing some Bike Buggy here in the near future. I believe that is the 5th harvester here for Unknown. I don't know if there's any that I'm missing here. Yeah, so 5 harvesters out for Unknown. Maybe seeing a 6th harvester going over to that expansion, but it's going to be second War Factory before another refinery here for Death Sentence. And I don't know. Yeah, Unknown definitely has this scouted, so he'll be seeing that, and he'll likely be responding with a second War Factory of his own here in the near future. And he's going to have an economy advantage, I would imagine, over Death Sentence, as he does have this refinery down on his expansion already. But he needs to be careful. He needs to get that second War Factory out, and he needs to start pumping some Bike Buggy here in the very near future. Otherwise, he's going to risk being very far behind Death Sentence. And the Pitbulls, well, I don't know if I'd necessarily say that they're superior or well behind the abilities of Bike Buggy, but I would say Bike Buggy have a lot more DPS. And seeing that the Buggies actually do quite a bit of damage to the Pitbulls themselves, it's a bit risky and a bit difficult to go double War Factory Pit into double War Factory Bike Buggy. But we do have just the double War Factory like we were talking about here. Not terribly surprising. Again, big map. You want to grab map control early and keep it often. We do have a couple of bikes here from Unknown. Going to be moving across through the middle of the map. And actually a nice foxhole here from Death Sentence. He's going to be getting eyes on the middle of the map. Going to have an opportunity to at least see some of that Bike Buggy and know where it is. And scouting is going to be key here. We do have a couple of Pitbulls here that look like they managed to make it into the expansion field of Unknown. And actually Unknown could be losing a harvester here. I don't know that he's got enough to actually defend against this. He has Buggies pumping out on the front lines, and he's trying to micro this harvester back, but unfortunately sends it back the wrong way around the refinery there. He could have potentially saved it if he went back to the War Factory, but honestly, there's just too many Pitbulls there and not enough bikes. And where are the bikes from Unknown? They were rolling around here. I'm not quite sure where they've ended up. Again, this map a little bit difficult to try to see stuff on the mini-map. And we do have a couple of bikes here from Unknown. It looks like he's going to maybe be looking to return the favor to Death Sentence. But a single watchtower here, I think, would be enough to perhaps hold this off. Likely going to be seeing that dropping anytime. Oh, actually, we do have a Predator tank. That's going to be even better, as it's going to give him an opportunity to rank up. So yeah, those bikes are going to be pulling away, and force Death Sentence to pull that Harvester off the line. It is very heavily damaged, so he's going to need to pull that back to the War Factory for repairs, but he did not actually lose it. That's pretty good. And it looks like it is a Scorpion tank transition here for Unknown. That's pretty good. I'm just realizing that my audio is perhaps not quite balanced here, so let me just swap some things out. My music's a touch too loud. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. Okay, so we've got Pitbulls doing some damage here to these Harvesters. It looks like they may get another Harvester kill here. Going to be paying for it with a couple of Pitbulls, most likely. Oh, nice silo drop there from Unknown, but I don't know that it's going to be enough. That Harvester is still alive. He does sell the silo off, but it is not going to be enough. Likely going to be enough to kill off a couple more Pitbulls, though, and that may make it somewhat worthwhile. Unfortunately, I believe that Harvester was full of Tiberium, so that's going to be slightly unfortunate. But Unknown, in the meantime, what has he got going on down in his expansion? Not a whole lot. Looks like maybe he's going for some tech now. He does have that double War Factory. He could go triple War Factory off of this economy, and triple War Factory Scorpion tanks would not be terrible, but honestly a fast tier 2 into maybe some early Dozer Blades, or even going so like fast tech into stealth tanks wouldn't be a terrible idea either. But it looks like we do have the command post down here for Death Sentence, and he has the AP ammo upgrade on the way. And let me just mute "herd" is the word really quickly. I don't really want to be listening to that stuff in the chat there, but we do have more Bike Buggy just kind of rolling around here. Looks like he's moving off to the right-hand side. So again, these guys just kind of jockeying for position here. It looks like we do have a couple of Scorpion tanks that have made their way across the map, but going to be facing up against the superior Predator tanks here. They have superior firepower as well as armor, so needs to be careful not to overextend and lose too many Scorpion tanks in those fights, especially prior to Dozer Blades being upgraded. He does have the opportunity, since he is Nod, to upgrade laser capacitors as well, though against Predator tanks I don't know how good they are going to be, and unfortunately it looks like Unknown is going to be taking some losses here. Could be losing at least one Scorpion tank. Oh, I don't know, you may not lose that one. No, I think he's going to get around the terrain just enough. But yeah, he will be escaping with that Scorpion tank army, though. He does need to be careful, as those Predator tanks are going to continue to press forward, and maybe seeing some Harvesters following up behind these guys to grab some of this blue Tiberium. Maybe not. Actually, it looks like the blue Tiberium was... I didn't realize that there was actually two blue Tiberium fields on this map. I thought there was only the one. But anyways, we do have Pitbulls pulling back here from Death Sentence. It looks like they are coming back from a raiding run here on this expansion, or maybe they were planning on doing it and then realized that all of the Scorpion tanks were here. But the Scorpion tanks just getting some repairs. We do have Death Sentence pushing in with a number of Predator tanks here, going to be looking to potentially destroy this War Factory, but we do have two-handed Nod Fanatics coming out, so Tier 2 is done for Unknown, and Fanatics coming out straight onto the front line is going to be a great way of dealing with these Predator tanks. They need to focus down this Hand of Nod straight away and just stop the bleeding here. And yep, they do manage to kill that off. So no more Fanatics coming out, but only 4 Predator tanks remaining, and the Scorpion tanks are now sweeping in. Going to be looking to clean up the remainder of these guys, and it's looking like the rest of these Predator tanks are as good as dead. It's just up to Unknown at this point to not lose too many Scorpion tanks in the chase, as a kiting war here is going to definitely favor Death Sentence over the long run. And we can see he's just continuing to do damage. More Predator tanks coming down here. It looks like we have a couple more joining the battle, and we do have Unknown grabbing some of that blue Tiberium. Let's see what's going on up in the base of Death Sentence. He does have that Tier 3. It looks like he is upgrading something, so it might be railguns. That would be interesting. He has expanded down to the south, going to be looking to get that second expansion, third base up and running. And Unknown, he has not expanded yet. I don't know if he has Tier 3. He has Tier 2, but no Tier 3. And he's actually sold off one of his refineries on this main field. Looks like he did take some more losses here on these Scorpion tanks. That's not terribly good. But these Predator tanks, they do not have the ability to detect stealth, so they can't actually kill off that Harvester. Oh, actually a couple Pitbulls here. Could potentially kill that thing off, but it doesn't look like they're going to get into range. We do have a Reckoner out as well, so I'm not quite sure what Unknown's plans are for this. Maybe going to be a couple of Engineers coming out, and then a stealth field on that Reckoner. That would be pretty potent. But let's see what it's going to end up being. No, it's going to be some Black Hand squads, so going for more of a Black Hand technique here, but obviously Black Hand not being the faction of choice. That looks like maybe a refinery on the way here for Death Sentence. But all of the Scorpion tanks here are over on the right-hand side defending this expansion. There are a number of pit bulls waiting to push in, and it looks like Death Sentence is trying to put the pressure on Unknown here on the left-hand side, just force his Scorpion tank army out of position and allow him to sweep in on the right-hand side. Let's see if Unknown overcommits here. No, it doesn't look like he's going to. He does have a couple of Scorpion tanks here going to be rallying to defend against this, but looks like he's content with holding this off with just a hand of Nod, but that does get dropped straight away. And this is looking disastrous for Unknown. He has not responded to this just yet. And he's likely going to have to send almost all of his Scorpion tanks here to actually defend. No, actually, it's looking like he's going to go ahead and push forward instead. He's going to catch these pit bulls out of position. Going to get a couple of these guys as they are pulling back. But it is pit bull mortars that are upgraded. I did not see that coming. But, oh, we have railguns, too. So 2 Tier 3 upgrades done for Death Sentence, so getting that Tier 3 down and using that straight away, perhaps why he was a little bit stalled on getting his refineries up and running, but oh man, he's got 2 refineries already on this expansion, and Unknown, he has not expanded as of yet, and only now dropping Tier 3, so he is way behind Death Sentence at this point, and he has a huge number of Predator tanks with that railgun upgrade, but a Obelisk drop here on the front lines, interesting move. It may be able to kill off a couple of these tanks. Oh man, the Fanatics! Fanatics doing massive damage, but these Railgun Predator tanks should be able to drop both of these structures pretty quickly. Yeah, before that Obelisk even managed to get another shot off, and going to be laser capacitor upgrades here for Unknown. He's going to be cleaning up a couple of these Predator tanks, but man, those Railguns are just so powerful. And no Dozer Blades. No Dozer Blades. That's interesting. I would have maybe prioritized Dozer Blades over the Tier 3 upgrade, but maybe that's just me. Oh, a Flame Tank! Flame Tank out of nowhere coming up here and doing some damage. Looks like he managed to take out 2 refineries or potentially force that one to be sold off. Another, it looks like the Reckoner was up here actually destroying off the refineries here from Death Sentence. So Unknown, despite being pushed hard in his base, he has managed to inflict massive economy damage in the north. I completely missed that. Was not even paying attention to the radar, but these Predator tanks are going to continue to kite backwards. They have been mostly held off here, and it's looking like they are going to be forced to fall back. And honestly, Unknown shouldn't even bother giving chase at this point. These Scorpion tanks really are not going to be ideal against those Railgun Predator tanks. And yeah, they do manage to kill that one off, but 2 very heavily damaged tanks there. And we do have the MCB on the move. It's looking like he's going for the expansion. He needs to get that refinery down, and he needs to get it down now. It is very important that he gets it established quickly, because if he doesn't, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. But the Flame Tank is still alive. Oh my god, is Unknown. He cloaks it as well. Railgun Mammoth Tank coming out on the front lines. Cloaks the veteran Flame Tank here, and he's going to be able to keep that alive. He could potentially kill off all of this power before that that Mammoth Tank actually gets into range, but it looks like he's going to pull back and fall away. So we did see the radar scan coming down, so we know that that's not going to be available for Death Sentence for quite some time now. And he does lose the Flame Tank to a power plant kill. That was not worthwhile. But anyways, he did inflict massive amounts of damage with that flame weaponry up in the north. So man, both of these guys have been ravaged pretty heavily. Unknown, he has not expanded yet. Oh, he does have a couple of Mammoth tanks here on the front lines that are more than likely going to be just setting up a blockade here. And he does not have anything to really deal with this. There's a number of rocket squads here that could potentially be doing some damage. Oh my god. Oh, for a second there, I thought we had a heroic Mammoth tank with railguns. I was like, whoa, when did that happen? But that's not actually the case. The red lasers from the Scorpion tanks going to be up against the blue lasers of the Mammoth tanks. And man, these Mammoth tanks are actually being overwhelmed. The rocket squad's likely doing the DPS that's going to be able to destroy these guys, and these Scorpion tanks just kind of sponging the damage. Honestly, chasing this Mammoth tank, probably not the best idea. He's going to be expending a lot of units here. And a little bit of a disconnect there. But we do have pit bulls coming in here, actually contending against an obelisk. Not exactly the ideal counter to an obelisk, but they do have the pit bull mortars, so they can do quite a bit of damage to structures here. Looks like they will be able to kill off that obelisk, and could potentially be coming in here and destroying maybe a power plant. I don't see them doing a whole lot else, but we do have the MCB deployed here for Unknown. Could potentially be setting up his expansion in the near future. But Death Sentence, he's got 2 refineries down, and look at all of the harvesters. Dear God, man, that's a lot of harvesters. And let's see up in the north. No refineries up on this area. He does have build radius with the tech center, but it's pretty far away. I mean, that build radius only comes out to about, I want to say, this area here. Maybe even tighter than that. I'm not quite sure. So if he does decide to drop a refinery there, he may want to pack up his MCV and move it back. But yeah, this game has slowed down a bit. It looks like these guys have done quite a bit of damage to one another. But Death Sentence, he has all the upgrades in the world right now. He has AP ammo, railguns, and pitbull mortars. And that's not even counting some of the other stuff that I maybe have not even seen. But yeah, we do have Scorpion tanks here. Going to be looking to just see what's going on here down in this original main base. And Unknown, he could potentially go into another MCV here and expand back there. He definitely needs to get his economy up and running or risk Death Sentence just running out of control, as he does still have a refinery on this field. So he is still mining away on this original main field, albeit he does have a decent bit of Tiberium here. Looks like a harvester coming back from the blue Tiberium as well. So I apologize, everybody. It's slowed down quite a bit here. It's looking like you have the infantry just standing on Tiberium. They are going to push forward a little bit. Not quite sure where they're headed. I don't know if they're going to be looking to put the pressure on, but probably wouldn't be the best. That harvester's still alive, surprisingly. Hasn't been any bike buggy rolling around. And honestly, bike buggy against railguns, not a good idea whatsoever. Those guys would get capped off one shot apiece. And but yeah, what is Unknown going to do at this point? Maybe Vertigo Bombers wouldn't be a terrible idea against the Mammoth tanks, but it's going to leave him very susceptible to the Pitbull transition. And with the mortar upgrade, that could be a base killing transition. It's looking like it's going to be a hammerhead transition here for Death Sentence, so not a bad idea going into the air. Actually, wow, he had build radius up here. I didn't even realize that MCV. Did he move his MCV in order to get that build radius? He must have. Wow, I'm kind of surprised. But Reclamator Hub coming down, so going to be maybe seeing some epic units here coming out in the near future. Unknown in the meantime, he is just getting his economy rolling. Doesn't have a whole lot of production, only has that single war factory. So maybe should be getting some additional production set up here in the near future, as he does have a decent bit of economy on this field. Definitely does need to reestablish his economy down in this bottom left field, though it is going to be very important. And a couple of hammerheads. Doesn't look like they have any garrisons at the moment, at least not the one that I clicked on. So no garrisons at the moment. But we do have 4 hammerheads here. Just going to be digging out the garrisons. Maybe going to be killing off some Tiberium spikes. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And what else do we have going on here? Stealth tanks! Stealth tanks. All right, here we go. And does he have Tiberium core? No, he does not have Tib core yet. So the stealth tanks, powerful, but not going to be super powerful, at least until they get the Tib core upgrade. Could definitely be capping off some harvesters, maybe just forgetting about those guys. Oh, probably dealing with this attack down in the south. Yeah, this is kind of an issue. We have a number of railgun mammoth tanks as well as supporting APCs and a couple of Predator tanks. It looks like they are mixed in there. Marv does come out, and we do have the SAM turrets being dropped as well, but honestly he needs obelisks at this point. And honestly, the SAM turret's the least of the concerns at this point. It's looking like actually these guys are going to choose, or rather Death Sentence is going to choose to focus down the SAM turrets as opposed to doing infrastructure damage. I don't know about that. Honestly, he could just keep his hammerheads away from this area and just destroy this base. And Unknown, realizing that there's just no way to stop this attack force, he's going to call the GG, and Unknown has been defeated. Going to bring Death Sentence up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. So, interesting first game, to say the least. We saw some nice counterattacks from Unknown when he was getting pushed really hard in his base. And, yeah, I was kind of interested to see how that one turned out. I was really expecting that one to go much quicker. I thought that Death Sentence had an advantage really early on. But Unknown, going with some nice Flame Tank and Reckoner work, managed to take out a huge amount of the economy. And Death Sentence, he had to take the time to recover. But once he did recover, he had those upgrades ready to go, and he was gushing cash. So his production just turned into Mammoth Tank spam. And that really did a lot of damage. So this forced Unknown out of that game. That is going to be it for the post-game analysis on that one. We're going to be jumping into game number 2 here momentarily, so be sure to stick around. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3 series, and we are on the map Tournament Arena, and Spawn in the upper left hand corner, coming off of a loss in his last game as the blue nod, we have Unknown. And then down in the bottom right hand corner as the green GDI, we have Death Sentence. So Death Sentence is up 1-0, we'll get that scoreboard adjusted really quickly there. And yeah, so Tournament Arena, oh, it's going to be Shadow Teams. Shadow Teams, not something we see very often, especially now with 1.02 plus. They have been fixed, I guess, quote-unquote fixed. I would say changed, but we do have the Shadow Team delay now, and they're going to be coming out. There's 3 Shadow Teams running around. We have actually 4th Shadow Team coming out, so Unknown going really heavy on the Shadow Team production here. Does sell off the Secret Shrine, so not going to be any additional Shadow Teams after that. But 4 Shadow Teams, very, very dangerous, and a lot of money being expended. So he's going to be looking to drop that power plant before that War Factory is deployed, and I don't think that he's going to be able to do so. Yeah, this has been changed, and that War Factory will come down just before the power plant is destroyed. And it's looking like Death Sentence is maybe anticipating this. He does drop a watchtower here, so I don't know how he saw that coming. I don't know if he could see them deploying, or maybe he just expected it once there was no scouts out on the map. But let's see what else we have going on here. Oh my goodness, you're not gonna make me mute you every game, are you? Okay, so Shadow Team's shooting up this power plant. Doesn't look like they managed to actually get the kill on that. I don't know how 2 Shadow Teams didn't manage to bomb that down fast enough. It looks like maybe the repairs were just quick enough on Death Sentence's end to keep that online. But Death Sentence, he does have a Pitbull out on the field now, and he's going to be trying to get eyes on the Shadow Teams. And Unknown just saying shadows equal expletive, and that expletive being something probably along the lines of a bathroom word. We'll just say that. If you guys know me, I do use foul language fairly frequently, but we'll just stick away from that for the cast today. And Death Sentence, he's just cleaning up all these extra scouts. He's managed to clean up a decent bit of the Shadow Teams. I think he's managed to kill off at least 1 squad. I don't know where the other 2 are. But yeah, Shadow Team's not seen too often because it's a fairly risky venture in the sense that they're countered pretty easily. And seeing that you don't actually have the opportunity to stop your opponent's War Factory, it really makes it difficult to make these guys worthwhile. And oh wow, actually, oh, do we have an MCV cell? We do have an MCV cell. So Operations Center, War Factory, single refinery into MCV cell. So not your typical all-in, but it's going to be a Reckoner here with the Engineer. Not quite sure what the plan is here. I don't know if he's looking to maybe stealth that Reckoner and use that to capture the MCV of Death Sentence. I really don't know what his plan is here. This is a very weird opener. But yeah, Unknown maybe realizing that he's up against Death Sentence, maybe slightly more favored player in this matchup, but I mean, I think he could do a bit more damage, honestly. I don't know that the sell-off was really necessary. A couple of Shadow Teams, looks like maybe 1 Shadow Team still just chilling out there down in the south. They're going to try to get the bomb on that power plant. They do manage to drop 1 set of bombs on that power plant, but that watchtower does manage to clean them up. And what else do we have moving out here? We do have the Reckoner moving in. Not quite sure what their plan is there, but we do have a Flame Tank coming in as well. So it looks like maybe there's a Black Hand Squad in there as well. Oh, this is risky. So he has the Engineer in here, and he's going to need to be really, really careful not to get that crushed. And it's going to be exposed here once he de-garrisons. And where's the Engineer? Oh, wow, the Engineer got capped straight away. Oh, man, it's like the Engineer jumped out and just immediately got headshotted by the Predator tanks. That's unfortunate. So, yeah, it's looking like it's GG for Unknown. I really don't know how he can recover out of this. I mean, even if he's producing another MCV right now, it's really going to be too little too late. He hasn't done any infrastructure damage to Death Sentence aside from maybe taking out a couple of power plants. That's really not going to be worthwhile. Oh, the Flame Tank does come in. This could be damaging, but it does get exposed for quite some time. He's going to try to take out a refinery here, and it looks like he should be able to get it. No, actually, the Predator tanks are going to be enough. And a second War Factory coming down as well. Most likely, Death Sentence realizing he's pretty far ahead in economy. He's going to get that second War Factory down and start pumping out some units. There is an MCV coming out for Unknown, so he's not throwing in the towel just yet. Not ready to just give up. And we do have... Okay, Hand of Nod, so it's going to be some rocket squads coming out. Going to be trying to hold the line against these Predator tanks that are moving away across the map. And man, Descendants, he must be thinking that he's way far ahead, and I mean, he would be absolutely right, but he's probably going to be surprised to see there are rocket squads being pumped out at the moment. So Unknown throwing some weird strategies here at Descendants, but Descendants doesn't seem to be too phased by it. He will be losing a couple of Predator tanks here if he continues to push forward. He has nothing to, to counter this infantry, but more than likely he'll just be falling back here and then likely transitioning into APCs or Hammerheads in the near future, and that will shut this down pretty heavily. But Unknown has staved off this attack a little bit longer. He's managed to keep himself alive. Could potentially be producing another refinery at this point, but it's going to be risky. I don't really know what he can do at this point. It looks like that Harvester is going to chase down. Wow, the Harvester actually gunning down that Shadow team. Did not see that coming. I'm pretty sure that that Harvester wasn't actually rallied to kill that, but rather to go grab some of that blue Tiberium. So that's unfortunate for Unknown. And Destin is just picking away at that Tiberium spike. Unknown maybe could have used that engineer to grab this Tiberium spike away instead of trying to go really risky and snagging the MCV. But hey, I mean, if you're going to go all in, you might as well go all in. Wow, actually, okay. So Unknown deciding to drop his refinery here on this expansion, that's risky. I mean, the forward refinery with no reinforcements here to try to defend it. I mean, at least back here, it's pretty defensible. I mean, he's up in this corner, but he does give the opportunity to Descendants to try to creep forward, and more than likely going to be seeing a base creep coming out from Descendants here in the near future. But APC's chasing down these rocket squads. They have pulled far away from their original location, and looks like he's going to try to stop and just kill off a Predator tank here if he can. He will get the final shot off there, so it does kill off a Predator tank. Definitely not going to be worth losing all of these units, and now these militant squads are just going to be running for their lives, trying not to get crushed by those heavy Predator tanks. But Pitbull here going to be doing some damage to these Harvesters, going to be at least exposing them. And as long as he keeps that Pitbull alive, he will be able to kill off these Harvesters pretty easily. That Pitbull will be going down, though, not until those rocket squads get another shot off, though. And Unknown calling the GG, and that's going to be it. Game number 2 and the series going to Descendants. So Descendants wins 2-0 versus Unknown. And but Unknown, he definitely put up an interesting fight here on Tournament Arena through some weird opening strategies. I definitely didn't see the Reckoner really working out too well, but the Flame Tank as well. I was not expecting that, and then that came in and did some damage, but just didn't do quite enough. So Unknown, he will be dropping out of this tournament. This is a single elimination tournament, everybody, so once you are eliminated for good. But Descendants, he will be progressing on. We'll have to see who he is matched up against in the near future. But let's see if we can get maybe a quick bracket update in the meantime. Doesn't look like there's anything going on in the lobby. It says 1v1 good players. I don't quite know who this is. Okay, so it looks like Masterleaf and Jake White are facing off. So let's get a quick bracket update if we can. And we won't waste too much time. We're going to jump into another match. Second one becomes available. But I would imagine some of our earlier matches will be getting finished up here. So here we go. Okay. Alright, so here we are with the bracket. It looks like it's going to be Jake White taking a 2-0 victory over Granola 17. He is in the process of facing off against Masterleaf. So good luck to you, buddy. That's going to be a tough battle. But TiberianFuture and Dimitri CNC, that looks like that game is still underway. And they're going to be facing off against Descendants, who just took a 2-0 victory against Unknown. Down below that, we do have Dirty Dutch taking a 2-0 victory versus Randomness FT. And Encore down below that, facing off against Rockets, taking a 2-0 victory there. So it's going to be Dirty Dutch versus Encore. I can imagine that would be a pretty good game, though I would give the slight edge to Dirty Dutch for sure. And then down below that, we have Kimosabe versus Dragon 99. It looks like that one's still underway. Warstorm taking a 2-0 victory over One Vision. So he will be facing off against the victor between Kimosabe and Dragon 99. So I would expect Kimosabe to come through with the victory there. Not gonna predict it, but it's gonna be throwing out that thought process nonetheless. So we'll have to see how that one turns out. But TiberianFuture and Dimitri CNC, this should be interesting. I'd give the edge to TiberianFuture, but Dimitri CNC, I've seen him play over the last several weeks, and he's definitely improving. I don't know that he's necessarily going to be able to compete with TiberianFuture, but I'm kind of pulling for TiberianFuture. I'm kind of hoping to see maybe some Scrin antics in the near future, but again, I try to stay impartial, so good luck, everybody. We'll stick with that. But yeah, that's going to do it for the bracket update, and we will jump back into the lobby, see if we can find another game here, and we'll jump in as soon as one becomes available, so be sure to stick around, everybody. I hope everybody is having a good time so far. We have seen one match here from the round of 16, which was Death Sentence versus Unknown. That just completed here. It did favor Death Sentence. He came out with a 2-0 victory on both Tiberium Zone and I believe it was Tournament Arena, so good games to those guys. Unfortunate to see Unknown departing early from the tournament, but nonetheless, we will be moving on. So be sure to stick around, everybody. We'll be jumping right into the action. Don't miss a thing. Okay, quick update, because I'm just now following the text here from the lobby chat, and it looks like Warstorm has been DQ'd due to the fact that it's not actually Warstorm playing. I guess it's been some IP tracking here that's done by our famous Toxic Shock and Phantom, our game referees here, and they've managed to determine that apparently that's Green Zero. So yeah. Looks like those guys are going to be disqualified, as obviously you guys know, just Green Zero has been ineligible for Kane's Wrath tournaments here through GameReplays.org for a variety of reasons. If you guys are interested in that, be sure to hit him up and ask him about him. I'm sure he'll divulge all of the correct information to you guys, but a little bit unfortunate to see that happening, and Warstorm, I'm a little bit disappointed to see that being the case, but hey, it is what it is. We're not going to dwell on it for too much longer, so it's looking like Kimosabe is going to progress on. TiberianFuture's invited me to a game here, so yeah, cool. Alright, TiberianFuture versus Death Sentence. This should be a good game. Good to see him pulling through here. Phoenix saying, Sparty, these Astros you recommended are nice. Yeah, man, the Astros are awesome. That's what I use myself, Astro A50s. We'll just give them the little Astros for the win. And I just caught in the text here, I had my mic muted for a second there, but I'm going to cut it back on here. Imaginary number saying, has there been a radio cast yet? No, there actually has not been a radio cast yet. Now, I will say, I typically do at least one when we get towards the later end of the tournament. It's not on purpose, I promise it's not on purpose, but it just happens to be the case. I usually get caught up in the action or the different games or maybe post-game analysis and then just totally forget to switch the scene, but no radio cast today, and hopefully none for the remainder of the day, but hey, it's early, we don't know. All right, everybody, and welcome to game number 1 of this best of 3 round of, or rather quarterfinal series now, between Death Sentence and TiberianFuture. And spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner as the green GDI, we have Death Sentence. And his opponent in the upper right-hand corner, perhaps the only screen player left in the tournament, or in the game, or in the universe, as the purple screen, we have TiberianFuture. So let me just take a second here to get these scoreboards worked out, as I do have things a little bit backwards. That, and bam! There we go. So TiberianFuture versus Death Sentence. It is 0-0, so this is game number 1. And going to be seeing... Oh, buzzer! 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 Oh, man, so close! Oh, so close to killing that engineer. TiberianFuture even giving out the damn. I agree, sir. That was super, super close. And I really thought he was going to get it there for a second. Had me lost for words there for a moment. And he will not be getting a kill on that engineer. That would have set Death Sentence actually back quite a bit. So it would have been pretty interesting to see. But okay, so TiberianFuture going screen. So he is up against Death Sentence with the Predator tanks here. So this is going to be the dangerous point, and this is why Scrin is perhaps maybe not the most favorable faction in this situation. Seeker tanks, not terribly powerful. I would put them akin to pit bulls, in the sense that they have stealth detection and they have, you know, moderate damage, but it's not crazy amounts. Actually, I'm going to have to chase down that squad. That's a little unfortunate. Usually when you drop a buzzer hive like that, it just insta-kills the squad that's next to it, but wasn't the case there. You do see that from time to time. But Death Sentence, he does power down his war factory here. It's going to power that straight back up, so it looks like the second refinery coming down here. And no worry about Tib catalyst missiles, so you can drop those refineries pretty close together. It's going to be 3 and 2 here for Death Sentence. It's going to be 3 harvesters, 2 refineries. And likewise for TiberianFuture, so he's rocking equal on the economy with Death Sentence. He is already packed up and going for the expansion, so second power plant already down. We do have a gunwalker out, just trying to get the scout. Wants to clean up any of those additional scouts that are just kind of running around on the map. And he does have a scout up in the north as well. And another harvester coming out for Death Sentence, so not going to be any too crazy early aggression coming out from either one of these guys. And Death Sentence, he's already moving to his expansion, likely going to be getting that up and running in the near future. And these guys both expanding towards one another, so this is going to be risky. So TiberianFuture maybe trying to force this game into the mid-game. And man, he's deployed this MCV, or rather the drone platform, really far away. So I mean, he could establish economy here, but it's going to leave him, you know, very little room to actually deploy another refinery. But again, he doesn't have to worry about tip catalyst missiles, so I guess that's a good thing. Death Sentence, he's deployed a good distance away as well, but I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know that he's actually got eyes on the fact that TiberianFuture has expanded over here. Yeah, I don't think that that is actually the case. Oh man, Nerve Center straight away, so it's going to be likely Devourer tanks here. Maybe going to be seeing some Dev Core here coming out from TiberianFuture. That would actually be pretty potent. I'd be interested to see how Death Sentence holds this one off. It may have to spam infantry to try to hold it off, but then he's at the risk of dealing with the Buzzer Swarm. So actually, Scrin, not a terrible faction when you think about it. Overall, I mean, yes, the early game's a little bit rough, but once you get up to that tier 2, it's pretty smooth sailing, as once you get up to tripods, they're super powerful, and their support powers are also quite powerful as well. You have a lightning spike here, so he is exposing the fact that he has tier 2 to Death Sentence. It's going to be doing quite a bit of damage to that harvester, may drop it into heavy damage mode, but we won't spend too much time looking at that. And we do have Devourer tanks coming out here on the front lines. Now Death Sentence realizes what is up. He realizes that he needs to start doing some damage. He needs to get some units out on the field. Likely going to be seeing Predator tanks just being spammed out at this point. But a Warp Sphere here from TiberianFuture, going to be pumping out some more of these Devourer tanks here on the front lines. And man, now it is Death Sentence who is going to have to be playing a lot of defense here. But TiberianFuture, he doesn't want to lose too many of these Devourer tanks. He does lose one right there, but he's massing up to a decent number here. He's got 5. He's lost 2 so far. Oh, actually, we do have the mines here coming out from Death Sentence, so he needs to be careful. TiberianFuture, he needs to be very, very careful not to move over those mines, because these Devourer tanks will take a lot of damage. That one just taking a couple of shots there. But oh, we do have a portal here on the front lines. Going to be dropping these disintegrators here on the front lines. But a nice watchtower drop here from Death Sentence is going to be able to hold that off. And honestly, TiberianFuture, he should just cut the production on that. He does drop a photon cannon. That photon cannon actually going to be able to do quite a bit of damage here, these guys, and it's just going to be annoying to deal with. It's going to be the Devourer tanks getting some shots on these Predator tanks now, and it's looking like they're going to be cleaning up actually quite a number of them. And more Photon Cannons coming out, so this is just going to be really annoying for Death Sentence to deal with. And man, I don't know how Death Sentence can really stop this. This is super powerful. And TiberianFuture just showing the might of the almighty Skrin faction here. Drops that Warp Factory straight away. And this Harvester's been pulled off the line for quite some time. Honestly, could just rally that back to go and send that load of Tiberium back. This expansion. Oh, we do have Orcas coming out. So double airfield Orca coming in here for Death Sentence. Going to be trying to contend against these guys. And Gunwalkers here to try to hold the lines. But man, it's going to take them a while to actually drop those Orcas. And TiberianFuture, he can continue to press his advantage here, get some economy established on these fields. I don't know if he's established any economy on this expansion. He has, so he's got a refinery down, and it looks like he's transitioning all of his harvesters now. Should be selling off. Oh no, he's already done that. Wow, so TiberianFuture, he is all over this right now, playing very, very well right now. And he is massing up. He's cut production on that Warp Sphere. Is not producing anything off of this portal either, so maybe he's strapped for cash. Or maybe he doesn't want to overcommit to the Devourer tanks now that he knows that Orcas are out on the field. But it looks like we do have 7 or 8 Orcas moving around here. It looks like there's 7 here. Not sure where the 8th one is, or if there will be an 8th one. But Plasma Missile Battery coming down. Going to be able to clean up 1 Orca straight away. But man, these guys are going to be doing lots of damage to these Harvesters. And I don't know if they have hard points. No hard points, so no tier 3. At least not yet. Or, I'm sorry, that's not a tier 3 upgrade. What the heck am I talking about? That is just a straight up airfield upgrade. But watchtowers here being dropped by Death Sentence. Oh man, the Orcas still have bombs left, and they're going to come in and swoop in and do some more damage. Tier 3 is done for Death Sentence, so Sonic Emitter likely going to be enough to actually force this attack force to fall back. And we do have a Reclamator hub on the front lines as well, going to be dropping down that Marv on the front lines. But man, it looks like the majority of these Orcas have been cleaned up, and Death Sentence realizing that he's going to sell off that extra airfield. Doesn't want to necessarily overcommit to Orcas, especially at this point. And likely going to be focusing on dropping more Sonic Emitters at this point. That would not be a bad idea at all. But oh man, the range on these Devourer tanks. Holy crap, they're doing lots of damage. And could actually destroy the... Wow, they destroy the Reclamator hub from that range. And man, Death Sentence, that's a huge investment right there, just down the drain. He didn't actually manage to get a sell-off on that either. I think he managed to sell it off at the very last second, so we got the Zone Trooper squad. And maybe a couple of bucks back, but honestly not going to be terribly worth it. And calling in the repair drones here. TiberianFuture going to be trying to get some repairs on these guys. Does need to be careful not to get in range of that Sonic Emitter, so a little bit unfortunate placement there of that that set of repair drones, but does get some repairs nonetheless, likely going to be worthwhile. And we do have more Plasma Missile Batteries being dropped here. More Devourer tanks coming out here for TiberianFuture, so he's really invested in this strategy here. He does have tier 3 as well, so maybe going to be seeing some tripods in the near future. That would not be a bad transition, honestly, at this point. Or even Devastator warships would be pretty cool as well. But Death Sentence, what is he going to do? I mean, he's got to get some economy established on this field or risk being pushed out of this game really quickly, but he just doesn't have anything to do it with. I mean, the Sonic Emitter, it's doing a good job of holding the line, but TiberianFuture's range on these Devourer tanks is just so strong. And now he's going to come in and just clean up these Sonic Emitters so quickly. And nice positioning here to make sure that he's not clumped up, so that way when the Sonic Emitter fires, it's only hitting 1 tank at a time, and he's pulling the tanks back that are damaged. So really great micro here from TiberianFuture. He's going to push forward now. Looks like he could be steamrolling the space. Looks like the Orcas are returning from a bombing run. Looks like they may have hit either a power plant or maybe some harvesters. Not quite sure. But now the Devourer tanks, they have lost their charge, but they still have quite a bit of DPS in and of themselves. And it looks like the Gunwalkers are going to try to rally up and save these Devourer tanks from the Orcas. They do manage to drop 1 Orca. It looks like a second Orca will be going down. And Death Sentence realizing there that he needs to pull that back. Does lose the MCB. Goes for another Reclamator hub on the back lines, and this is under pressure here. I don't know that he's going to get that Marv out on time here. The DPS may just be enough. I don't know how close this is going to be. This is going to be super, super close. Okay, is that Reclamator... Is that... Oh my god. Is it coming out? It doesn't come out! He cancels it at the last second. Death Sentence calling the GG. That is going to be it. Oh my god, that Marv was so close to coming out. And we do have the Hexapod joining the battle as well. But TiberianFuture taking a powerful game number 1 with that Devourer tank push into a base push. And man, just showing that Skrin, while being maybe not the favorite faction for everybody out there, definitely a faction to be contended with. And we're going to be seeing him picking up a victory there. Needs to pick up another victory to knock him out of the tournament. But, man, Death Sentence. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe we'll see a much more aggressive Death Sentence coming out in the next game. Or maybe we'll see more eco play. We'll have to see. All right, everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 3 series. And that brings us to the map Tournament Decision. And spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner, coming off a victory in the last game, showing the might of the Scrin faction as the purple Scrin, we have TiberianFuture. In the upper right-hand corner, as the green GDI once again, we have Death Sentence. So give me one moment, once again, everybody, to swap some things around here on the scoreboard. I apologize. Again, this is one of those things where I kind of have to do it on the fly, and not ideal by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll do it nonetheless. So TiberianFuture, he comes up 1-0 so far, and man, he took a punishing victory over Death Sentence in the last game. Death Sentence choosing to go with Decision, maybe realizing that this is a more artillery-based map, so Juggernaut's going to be super powerful. Maybe you're going to be seeing TiberianFuture going into Devastator warships in this game. We'll have to see. We did see a little bit of an unconventional play coming out from him in the last game, but he made that work really well. And when I say unconventional, I don't mean that it's not tested, but rather just not seen all that often, at least not anymore. At least not from what I've seen. I don't see too many Scrin players kicking around, so Devastator pushes like that, or rather Devourer tank pushes like that, pretty rare. But yeah, TiberianFuture, he's going to be trying to grab this Tiberium spike. He needs to be careful. Oh, he will not lose that Engineer. Oh man, actually he could. No, he's not going to lose that Engineer. That's good. And, oh, is he going to lose his other Engineer here? Oh, he needs to be careful. Oh, he needs to be careful. Tries to force fire down the tries to force fire down the assimilator, but does not manage to actually kill that off. Nice juking there of all of those buzzers, though. Very nice work there from Death Sentence. Managed to get some damage on that assimilator, but not going to be enough. Good effort nonetheless. And we do have 2 refineries and 3 harvesters down here. Likely going to be a 4th harvester coming out. And I'll be interested to see if these guys choose to go for triple refinery or if they go into tech straight away. Obviously, this field's quite large and offers the opportunity to go for that triple refinery opener. But we'll have to see what they choose to go for. I would imagine TiberianFuture is probably going to go triple refinery. And maybe seeing the same thing out of Death Sentence. So yeah, it looks like these guys are going to be going pretty standard eco builds here. Not terribly crazy. And not terribly surprising either. But Gunwalker coming out from TiberianFuture, he's going to cut off that Rifleman squad, not going to be allowing that into his base. That's really good. Anti-scouting, very crucial. And TiberianFuture, likewise, he's going to be getting a full scout into the base of Death Sentence. I apologize. And we do have that buzzer just kind of chilling out in the back there. So Death Sentence, he's going to have to deal with that. Like, he's going to have to queue a watchtower to knock it out, or just risk it, giving away all of his builds here. But, I mean, going eco, not terribly risky. And we do have a Pitbull here coming in for Death Sentence, and it's he's going to be getting perfect eyes on this, and he's going to see, okay, it's Eco versus Eco here. So it's going to be a matter of who's a little bit quicker and who goes for that correct transition. So Death Sentence, I'll be interested to see what he goes for here. He does have the command post down. I believe that is visible to TiberianFuture. Yeah, so TiberianFuture, he can see this. So Death Sentence, he's not going to be able to catch TiberianFuture off guard with that, you know, quick airfield or anything like that. So, but we do have a portal down. So what is it going to be? It's going to be Disintegrators coming out here for TiberianFuture. Interesting move. I did not see Disintegrators really being all that useful here, seeing that they're quite a bit slower without fast legs, but obviously going to be a little bit faster than the unupgraded Traveler 59 Disintegrators. Looks like they could potentially kill off a Pitbull here. No, they're not going to be fast enough. Not going to be able to keep up. But it's going to be Rifleman squads here coming out for Death Sentence. So interesting move here going into infantry. I don't know about that. I don't know if he's planning to go APC or maybe Hammerheads. Okay, so the airfield is down. What's he producing? So it must be Hammerheads. Maybe not? It was an upgrade that was purchased. I'm not quite sure what it was. So maybe going for the early upgrades there for Stratofighter and then planning to go into Firehawks. Firehawks obviously very powerful against Scrin factions. They don't have the ability to laser fence their buildings. But man, he already has the, by he, I mean TiberianFuture, he already has the attenuated force fields on the Gunwalkers and Seeker tanks. And already has his tier 3. It looks like an upgrade is on the way, so not sure if it's going to be force field generators or shard launchers. Shard launchers wouldn't be a bad idea. Obviously, he's probably expecting the Firehawks, so it would make his plasma missile batteries just so much more deadly. That would not be a bad idea at all. But infantry just kind of rolling through the middle of the map here, not quite sure what the plan is. And Foxholes, interesting move here coming out from Death Sentence. Those are going to get focused down here by the Gunwalkers. I don't know if Death Sentence has managed to grab one of these towers. It doesn't look like he has. And now these Foxholes going to be enough to force back the forces here of TiberianFuture. There is a assimilator here, likely going to be trying to go for one of the towers. He's going to have to keep that guy kind of standing off to the sidelines here until he can actually punch through that middle area. I don't know if there's maybe an engineer coming out here from Death Sentence in the near future to grab one of those towers, but he has the pressure there. Could potentially go for the EMP spike as well. That wouldn't be a bad idea. EMP in a 1v1 especially is going to be very potent. Could potentially kill off all of these Firehawks as well. They are rolling around. Not quite sure. He does have the Stratofighter. I don't know if they Stratofighter'd in or if they're trying to get out. But the tier 3 is exposed, and there isn't a whole lot in the way of anti-air defenses here. It looks like there is one being queued. But maybe just trying to find out where TiberianFuture is at this point. Death Sentence rolling his MCV back. Not sure where he's going here. Oh, the Mastermind. Okay, Mastermind out on the field. He needs to be really careful not to lose his MCV here. And Juggernaut's here as well. That Mastermind could honestly just run forward and grab that MCV. And it looks like maybe that's what he's going to do here. Oh, but a Hammerhead. He needs to be careful. Upgraded Hammerheads with the AP ammo. And what is that Mastermind going to do? What is he going to do? He could potentially capture the Hammerhead. Okay, so he grabs the Hammerhead, does take a little bit of damage, but it's not going to be enough to actually kill that off. And now he's going to send that back into the base of Death Sentence. Let's take a look up in the north. We do have the infantry just standing on Tiberian, generating some battle markers. Looks like, oh, the Firehawks! Oh, man, I don't know what they were doing, but they managed to do huge amounts of damage to that drone platform, but the drone platform is alive. There is looks like an Orca Strike coming in. The repairs should be enough, I think, to keep this thing online. And, oh, actually, nice Mastermind use there to bring in an assimilator. So great moves here from TiberianFuture, showing how powerful that Mastermind can be. And oh man, the force field generators coming online for the Annihilator tripods. Now that assimilator is on the move, likely going to try to grab one of these towers, but needs to be careful. These Foxholes could potentially de-garrison and go and kill him off, but I don't think he's actually got vision in that area. So looks like he is going to grab a defensive tower there. Yep, tries to de-garrison, but it's not going to be quick enough. So TiberianFuture, he's looking pretty good. He did take quite a bit of damage, almost lost his drone platform. That would have been devastating. Granted, he does have a gravity stabilizer, so nice job to keep that around. We do have a force here. Railguns upgraded coming in from Death Sentence on the left-hand side. Infantry moving in. Looks like they're just trying to get in behind the extractor to make sure not to take any damage from these gunwalkers. Now they're going to turn and fight. The extractor does get sold off, but all of those forces do manage to get cleaned up. Death Sentence just poking away damage on this technology assembler. Likely just going to be an annoyance here for TiberianFuture. He needs to send back a tripod there to deal with it. Not a huge deal, but it's going to be Mammoth Tanks here with Railguns coming out for Death Sentence. And we saw him make that work really well against Unknown in his previous series. We'll have to see if it works as well against TiberianFuture. And where are those Firehawks? 3 Firehawks down here. Maybe had to rebuild all of them. Not quite sure what happened. But 4 Firehawks out on the field now for Death Sentence. Going to be looking to do some base raiding at this point with that. Maybe going to be looking to take out the Tier 3. That would honestly not be a bad idea at all. Does have hardpoints as well. As you can see, they're upgraded. You can actually see them. Going to be taking some shots here. Oh, it does lose 1 Firehawk, so that's unfortunate. But with hardpoints, he's going to still be able to deal out a huge amount of damage. And now we have Juggernauts here just firing over the mountains, or rather through the mountains, I guess. And going to be doing some damage to these refineries. Going to be potentially destroying this one. I don't think there's really any way for TiberianFuture to actually save that. Second Juggernaut going to be joining the battle there. And the Firehawks just kind of chilling out here. But oh, nice stasis shield here coming in from TiberianFuture. Does manage to lock down the Sonic Emitter as well as both of those Mammoth Tanks. It's just going to give him free reign on this field. Another Sonic Emitter coming down here from Death Sentence. Is it going to be enough, though? The tripods are in range. The tripods will get the EMP straight away on that Mammoth Tank. This Mammoth Tank is going to try to kite back, but it's taking a lot of damage. The Sonic Emitter, very strong, but it takes a long time to actually fire. And it looks like these guys are both powered down due to the EMPs. And we did see Shockwave Artillery coming in. Not going to be enough to actually lock down too many of these units. Do manage to take out one of the tripods. Another tripod does go down, but Sonic Emitter going to be dropped down here. Firehawks being forced to try to bomb these tripods. Not going to be enough to actually destroy them. 2 tripods very heavily damaged, but now the tech center as well as the airfield under serious pressure. Airfield gets sold off straight away, realizing that there's really no way to save that. Tech center gets sold off as well. Another Sonic Emitter being dropped, but being EMP'd straight away. So the airfield has been dropped down. Those Firehawks do have an opportunity to land, but man, Death Sentence is looking to be in dire straits at this point. TiberianFuture, he's just going to move and roll down through this base. We do have the Hexpod coming out on the field, and yeah, that's going to be likely the artillery unit, or the quasi-artillery unit that TiberianFuture really needs at this point. Looks like he is going to get a Mastermind Garrison on that as well. The Juggernauts have managed to push TiberianFuture off of this field, but he's managed to grab all of the Tiberium here anyways. It looks like maybe just a couple loads of Tiberium left for Death Sentence to try to capitalize on, but the drone ship is going to pack up and move for the expand. Needs to be careful though, the Firehawks are still rolling around, and if they do have the missile loadout, they can drop that very quickly. We need to be very careful not to lose that. Does still have the tower in the middle of the map, so he's going to give him a little bit of defensive opportunities here once he comes up to this green Tiberian field in the north, which I have to imagine. Oh my god, he's got 2 drone platforms. I didn't even see that. Okay, so 2 drone platforms. Interesting. It looks like maybe he's going to expand up to the north. Oh, and the Firehawks are going to come in. They do manage to drop down one of the drone platforms. That's unfortunate. Or rather, drone ship, I guess, when it's packed up like that. But these tripods, instead of trying to push into that base, are just going to fall back. There are a number of zone troopers here, and as well as a number of rocket squads. So, going to be able to hold the lines here, and maybe thinking that those forces were going to push through from the top of the map, but not going to be the case. So, this army being a little bit out of position at this point, trying to react to a force that is long gone. But the Hexpod with some shock trooper garrisons going to be trying to take out some of these hammerheads. Do manage to take out a couple of them, and a couple of harvesters on an auto harvest going to be potentially lost here, but a couple more hammerheads going to be taking some damage. Oh man, it looks like these hammerheads have zone troopers in them as well. Don't want to be just throwing them away to the Hexpod, as well as the corruptor garrison. So that's a little bit unfortunate. And it looks like this drone platform, wow, super low on HP. I don't know how he managed to save that. Wow, okay, yeah, I don't know how that drone ship is still alive. Has just a shred of HP left. But now TiberianFuture, he's still just moseying about with this small army here. It does have a lot of DPS, does have the Hexpod out. Another assimilator coming out, going to be able to repair that drone platform up to full HP. And the Firehawks, they're doing lots of damage, but I don't know that it's going to be enough. And Death Sentence, he's kind of corralled down here into the bottom right. He did manage to push TiberianFuture off of this field, but only in time for the Hexpod to join the battle. And it is a veteran Hexpod now. That's a dangerous, dangerous force, as the DPS from a heroic Hexpod is just ungodly. But that Hexpod is just going to push forward. That one Corruptor providing a decent amount of support here. That Hexpod does teleport across under its own power. Looks like he's maybe trying to get the crush on some of these units. Does call in the Buzzer Swarm support power. Kills off a large number of these units. We do have Grenadiers coming out on the front lines as well. Do they have the EMP upgrades? They do have EMP upgrades as well, so could potentially be getting the EMP off. They do actually EMP the airfield as well, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but could potentially be destroying this Hexpod, though I have to imagine that he has phase field available. But Death Sentence going to call the GG, and that's going to be it. TiberianFuture taking a 2-0 victory. So not sure if there was a battle that I totally missed somewhere, but it's looking like TiberianFuture took a very powerful victory once again against Death Sentence, forcing him out of the tournament. But well played to Death Sentence. He definitely put up a fight, just up against the wall against TiberianFuture. And TibFuture, man, he is showing that he knows his stuff, and he's making that Scrim faction work to his advantage. So we'll have to see if he's able to progress on through the tournament, but he'll definitely be moving himself out of the quarterfinals. Going to be moving into the semifinals. Not sure who he's going to be up against, but we'll check in on that in a little bit. Let's see what else we can get for some games here. So I hope you guys are all having fun. If you guys are just now joining us, this is the Kane's Wrath 1 vs 1 Vanilla Mania tournament. We are headed into, I believe, the semifinals here in the near future, unless there's some more quarterfinal games that we can jump into. But yeah, this one's progressing along pretty quickly here. It's looking like we're about, let's see, about an hour and a half in. So it's going rather quickly today. We only had 15 players showing up, so I think we did have a disqualification as well, so maybe lost one of those matches in the process. But at any rate, we will be moving on. I hope you guys are all having fun. I know that the chat's been kind of going crazy. I've seen some Tib Wars versus Kane's Wrath action. I hope you guys will kind of let that one be. I'd rather not see that flame war going on in the chat, and if need be, I will start banning some people. I don't want to have to do that. I'm very much opposed to banning people in chat, but if it gets kind of out of control and I'm seeing just nothing but Tib Wars versus Kane's Wrath, I will start banning people, so please keep that in mind, everybody. Let's keep it civil and keep it happy. We're having some fun here. I hope you guys are all enjoying it. I know I certainly am, and let's get into some more games. All right, so I just saw somebody mentioning that they would like to see results. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do bracket updates. I'm just sitting here waiting to try to find another game. So let's pop up the brackets and see what's going on here. So quarterfinals we did see, or rather, let's go right down from the round of 16. So Masterleaf got a free win to the round of 16. Jake White versus Granola 17. We did see Jake White taking a 2-0 victory there. He went on to face Masterleaf. We'll check in on that in a second. TiberianFuture taking a 2-0 victory versus Dimitri CNC, facing off against Death Sentence, who took a 2-0 victory against Unknown. And then below that, Dirty Dutch taking a 2-0 victory versus Randomness FT, and Encore taking a 2-0 victory versus Rocket. So a lot of 2-0 victories here today. Kimosabe taking a 2-1 victory versus Dragon, and then Warstorm versus One Vision. That's kind of irrelevant due to the fact that Warstorm is disqualified. And then Kimosabe got a free win out off of Warstorm due to the fact that he was disqualified. Masterleaf versus Jake White. Masterleaf taking a 2-1 victory, so Jake White managing to take a game off of him. That's pretty good. You certainly have to give him credit for that. That's got to be a pretty difficult feat. But anyways, down below that, we do have TiberianFuture taking a 2-0 victory versus Death Sentence. That was the match that we just watched. So that was pretty powerful games. Dirty Dutch getting 2-0'd by Encore. Wow, okay, I did not see that one coming. Encore, a good player, but I haven't actually seen him recently, so he must be still playing in the public lobbies, but I haven't seen him a whole lot in the tournament scene. But man, he came through in a big way, so took out Dirty Dutch. And so it's going to be Masterleaf versus TiberianFuture here coming up, and Encore versus Kimosabe. So those two matches are likely going to be coming up very soon. That is going to be bringing us into the semifinals. It will turn into a best of 5, and then that will bring us to the best of 7 final series. So that will be underway momentarily, and we'll be checking in on that. I'm going to see if I can jump into the next set of games here. Most likely going to be Masterleaf versus TiberianFuture. That would honestly be, I think, probably the best matchup so far. Yeah, that's going to be the bracket update so far. We're coming into the semifinals. We've been rocketing through the tournament today, and it's been going pretty well. Been seeing some very, very powerful playing, and TiberianFuture coming through in a big way. We'll have to see if he can continue that against Masterleaf, maybe knock him out of the tournament, or maybe Masterleaf will continue on and make it into the finals. I'll have to check in and see. And then Encore versus Kimosabe, I'm going to be really interested to see how that one turns out. So very, very interested to see how all of these games turn out. And then the final should be pretty exciting. So I hope everybody is having a fun time. I noticed that some Cypher Bullet was saying that the chat, or rather my stream is about 10 minutes behind the chat. No, it's just due to the fact that I'm not going to comment on the chat when I'm in the middle of casting, but I do see it. I can see you guys going at it, but I'd prefer that you didn't. So please restrain yourselves from doing so. And Inkapai's asking, why did Warstorm get DQ'd? It turns out that Warstorm was not actually Warstorm. I guess some IP tracking was done, and it turns out that that was actually Green Zero. So he was disqualified due to that fact, as Green Zero is obviously banned from Game Replay's tournaments due to a number of reasons, which I'm sure the community is already aware of. If you're not, you're welcome to check in with him or Toxic Shock on what those details may be. You can get varying stories from either one of them, but it doesn't change the situation. So that is the situation we're left with. Very unfortunate to be seeing that happening, as I was actually kind of excited to see Warstorm playing in this tournament. I was kind of interested to see how he'd do against all of these guys. But not going to be today, so maybe in a future tournament. I don't know if he's going to be removed from the next tournament just due to the fact that this shenanigan stuff has been going on today. But hey, it looks like we're going to be getting shenanigans really regularly now, so yeah, this is what it is. Not going to let it bring our day down, that's for sure. But yeah, just waiting to get into another match here. I don't know... TiberianFuture and Masterleaf already going to a game? Went into a game without me. That's not nice. Okay, we may be taking a quick break. I'm just going to wait for another match to show up. The second one becomes available. Whoever it may be will jump into that game, and be sure to stick around. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of this best of 5 semi-final series between Masterleaf and TiberianFuture, and spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner of Twilight City as the purple nod, we have TiberianFuture. And in the upper right-hand corner as the red vanilla scrin, we have Masterleaf. So, let me just, wait a second, do I have those right? Okay, so I swapped things out here, and I didn't need to, so apologies while I swap them back. Thought I had it right, but apparently I do not. Okay, we'll get that, and that, and that. Change the map really quickly. Okay, there we go. So, game number 2, TiberianFuture is down 1-0 right now, and he's chosen to go Nod here. So Masterleaf choosing to go with Scrin, and he's up against the Scrin player, so that's interesting. Maybe choosing to go with Scrin just due to the fact that feels confident in his mastermind abilities. And we do have an engineer here from TiberianFuture. Going to be able to grab that Tiberian spike uncontested here, where there was a buzzer, but it did manage to get cleaned up. So nice move there from TiberianFuture to keep that alive. He does have a decent number of scouts out on the field. There's 2 militant squads running through the middle of the map here, and we do have couple more running around the map, so it's looking like TiberianFuture is doing his due diligence here to anti-scout Masterleaf pretty heavily. And Masterleaf, I mean, is he going to manage to sneak a buzzer through, or is he going to have to go with a gunwalker to actually get a scout off on the base of TiberianFuture? But doesn't seem like Masterleaf is too worried about it. He does have his second refinery down. He's already up to 3 and 2, and likely going to be another harvester coming out momentarily. And we do have a flame tank coming out. This has been spotted, though. There was a buzzer that managed to make its way through. At least I believe I saw a battle marker. So Masterleaf has an opportunity to respond to this, and we'll have to see what he chooses to go for. He does not have cultists, so no Traveler 59 means no cultists. So it's going to be Seeker tanks out to try to defend against this, and he wants to try to catch those flame tanks and Reckoners out of position, so that way he can destroy them. They're both coming straight down the middle of the map. Likely TiberianFuture just trying to get across the map as quickly as possible, just to prevent Masterleaf from getting too many of those Seeker tanks out. He wants to get in range of those structures if he can, especially with the Reckoner, and obviously with the Flame Tank. This Reckoner will bypass those Seeker tanks. Not quite sure where the Flame Tank ended up. I don't know if he's going to come down here. No, actually he's going to take a wide berth as well. So the Reckoner deploys pretty far away from these extractors. It's going to give Masterleaf an opportunity to actually building block this, but we do have the Flame Tank coming in as well. He does building block against the Flame Tank just due to the fact that it does have a little bit more DPS, and these Seeker tanks are going to focus down the remainder of these guys a little bit quicker. But man, it's looking like that has been cleaned up. The D-garrison would not have mattered anyways. He does manage to get a single refinery off of that, so not terribly bad. But there are a number of Seeker tanks out here now that TiberianFuture is going to have to contend against. And he's got a number of rocket squads on the way here. Scorpion tanks being pumped out as well. And it's looking like there are already 5 harvesters out on the field. Going to be delaying that expansion. Maybe going to be going for back for Tier 2 or maybe into a second war factory here. Second war factory wouldn't be a terrible idea. Yeah, it is going to be a second war factory. Good idea here, as that will give him a lot of opportunity to really dance out and around this war factory. He could send his harvesters in and around, out and around, and he can really keep them alive pretty easily. These rocket squads, they're going to be just kind of chilling out on the top portion of the map. Looks like they're single buggy. They're going to be getting cleaned up here by the Seeker tanks. Now these Seeker tanks, he just needs to be careful not to lose too many of them. He does call in the repair drones as well as the lightning spike, so going to be doing quite a bit of damage. Doesn't manage to lose too many of these Seeker tanks. That's really good. Masterleaf keeping these guys alive. I do think he lost 1 Seeker tank, but TiberianFuture's doing a nice job as well. He managed to kite these Scorpion tanks back. As soon as they start taking damage, he's going to pull them right back off the lines. So it's really just a battle of attrition here, but the constant War Factory production here from TiberianFuture is likely going to be enough to hold this attack. Could see a Shredder turret coming down the near future just to draw some fire as well. That would be really annoying for Masterleaf to have to deal with. But he is just ecoing in the meantime. Not quite sure where he's expanded to, so it looks like he's going for the more typical expansion. Doesn't look like he's actually deployed his drone platform, most likely just focusing on microing down here. And those 2 war factories getting up to a decent number of Scorpion tanks now, likely seeing that Operations Center out. Going to be seeing maybe some more flame tanks, or maybe... Oh, actually, wow, that power plant does go down, and that's going to be putting TiberianFuture down into low power mode. And that's a little bit unfortunate. It's going to be cutting his production times, or rather doubling his production times by quite a bit. And we do have another power plant coming down. That could be getting upgraded straight away and get his power back online. In the meantime, we do have a militant squad here, which is scattered out to the north, so you can see that there is a couple of harvesters rallying up to the north. It looks like there is a refinery on the way. And we do have, I believe, a militant squad here coming in from Masterleaf, or rather from TiberianFuture. He wants to get eyes on the base of Masterleaf. He's going to be able to see that the Tier 2 is up. The Tier 2 upgrade is on the way and is nearly done, so those Seeker tanks do get the force fields upgraded, or rather the attenuated force fields. And we do have a number of Scorpion tanks rolling here through the bottom of the map. Just wants to make sure that Masterleaf wasn't doing the cheeky move that he used on, I believe it was Death Sentence earlier, on for those early Devourer tanks. But it's not going to be the case. Going to be bikes coming out here. Bike buggy going to be the transition of choice here for TiberianFuture. Interesting move, seeing that he does have an operations center. Maybe going to be seeing some flame tanks just to kind of skirt around the edges of the map. But these Scorpion tanks, they do not have dozer blades, so he does not want to go up against those disintegrators whatsoever. And the Seeker tanks are going to be falling back as well. A couple of disintegrator squads here coming out as well. Likely just going to be trying to hold the line here for Masterleaf. Just going to be a defensive force. Not a bad idea at all. But another warp sphere down as well. So Masterleaf, he's got a ton of production now. Likely going to be seeing another refinery coming out in the near future. But the bike buggy coming in. But they are going to be dealing with these disintegrators. And while they're not fast like disintegrators, they are still pretty quick. So they're going to be able to defend pretty well. Nice job here from TiberianFuture to use those buggies to kill off the squads that are really close to the bikes, and just keeping them alive a little bit longer. So nice moves there from TibFuture. He is losing a little bit of units here, not terribly crazy amounts though, but it looks like the Scorpion tanks are going to be joining the fight as well, but the Seeker tanks here from Masterleaf are here to defend. They're going to be joining the battle as well. A couple of disintegrators coming up from the south, and they're going to be joining in as well. A couple of harvesters do go down, but it looks like the majority of the bikes have been cleaned up here, and that's going to be enough for TiberianFuture to fall back. Looks like Masterleaf is going to choose to chase this off. Not a bad idea. Those Seeker tanks with the force fields will be able to take quite a bit of damage, and they're not too shabby on damage output either. But once those... actually, no. It looks like the Operations Center was sold off, so I don't know if there's a flame tank around the map. Let's just take a look in the corners just to make sure. I don't see any flame tanks as of yet. There's some damage on these structures up here, but looks like the majority of the focus is going to be up on this expansion field of Masterleaf. The bike buggy once again coming in. I don't know if those bikes all got sniped down or if they managed to actually sneak away, and they were just so much faster than the buggies that it looked like they were all destroyed. But decent number of bikes coming in there. I think they managed to clean up one more harvester, but it's not going to be too much for Masterleaf to be concerned about. He is being corralled here into this field, though, so it's giving TiberianFuture a lot of breathing room. But what has he done in the meantime? So TiberianFuture choosing to go for the aggressive expansion here. He's expanded up towards Masterleaf, and Masterleaf is realizing this, and he's going to capitalize on it by destroying some of these harvesters of his own. And one harvester will be going down for sure. More than likely going to be seeing some additional harvesters going down. A couple of Scorpion tanks coming in here trying to hold off this force, but they're going to be expended for no real gain here. Unfortunately, trying to hold the line. It looks like one more harvester should be going down. It doesn't look like it actually has been focused down. It will be able to get all of its Tiberium off, and all of these Seeker tanks are focusing down additional harvesters, which are fully loaded. So Masterleaf returning the damage here, the economy damage to TiberianFuture, and doing way more damage than TibFuture managed to do to him. I'm not sure where the bike buggy ended up. Looks like a couple of units have been cleaned up. Drone ship taking a little bit of damage, so it looks like maybe the bike buggy did manage to come into that northern base, did a little bit of damage. But TiberianFuture, he's rolling around with some of these Scorpion tanks. They do have the Dozer Blade upgrade now, so Tier 2 is done. Masterleaf saying hard to play. Not quite sure what he's talking about. But we have these Scorpion tanks. They're just kiting back, and the damage output from these Seeker tanks should be enough to force these guys back. And the Seeker tanks with the force fields here are going to be able to sponge quite a bit more damage than the standard Seeker tanks would be. And it's going to be enough to force TiberianFuture back into his base. Going to be taking a little bit of poke onto that Harvester. Nothing too crazy, though. TibFuture, he's gonna pull that off the line, at least pull it back to a more defensible location. So smart move there. Masterleaf just being really annoying, camping on the outside of this field here. Calls in the repair drones. That's a good idea. He's going to be able to keep his units alive a little bit longer. Be pulling back the tanks that are taking a little bit more damage. And TiberianFuture, he's trying to return the favor. He's trying to come in and trade well with Masterleaf. But honestly, with the repairs there from Masterleaf, it's going to be enough to go in his favor really heavily. And the Buzzer Swarm support power coming in, killing off a lot of these rocket squads. It looks like they do manage to kill off all of the rocket squads. Going to be exposing a couple more of these harvesters as well. Looks like another harvester did go down. This harvester is just skating away. Just a tiny bit of HP left. And we do have Masterleaf grabbing some of that blue Tiberium in the meantime. Quite sure what else is going on. He has expanded over to the right-hand side, so he's going to be trying to get that eco up and running. And it looks like we do have a small counterattack force here from Masterleaf down in the south. Looks like that entire base has been sold off. And this attack force is getting shut down pretty hard as well. So TiberianFuture is looking to be in a really tough situation. He's calling out militant squads on the front lines. Don't know that that's really the unit that you want to be seeing in this situation. A couple more Scorpion tanks going to be joining the battle here, but a lightning spike coming down as well. Going to likely be enough to do some serious damage to these guys. And I don't know that TiberianFuture actually has a war factory at this point, so he has no way of reinforcing these forces and has no way of repairing any of his units. So once these harvesters start taking some real damage, there's no real way for them to be repaired. And actually a couple of harvesters, actually all of these harvesters really heavily damaged. So if Masterleaf chose to poke in, he could actually destroy all those harvesters without too much trouble. And he's looking really good now. He has 3 bases worth of economy. I don't know if he's still got a refinery on this field. He does. He doesn't actually have any harvesters, though. You could definitely send up a harvester or 2 up there. It looks like he does have a harvester headed there as well. But he's grabbing all of this blue Tiberium, so it's looking like it's definitely going Masterleaf's way. And it's looking very, very strong in favor of him. We do have the Secret Shrine down and the Hand of Nod here from TiberianFuture. So another Hand of Nod coming down. Looking to go for really heavy infantry at this point. I don't know that he's really got enough Tiberium to try to stay on this field for too much longer. He needs to get an expansion set up, needs to get it set up stat, and he really needs to get some tech going as well, because once Masterleaf gets up to tier 3, it's going to be pretty much lights out for TiberianFuture, because the Mechapeds and obviously the Tripod's very, very powerful for the Scrin late game. Now this infantry, they're just kind of moseying about here, just trying to hold the line, just trying to keep these harvesters alive. One more harvester does go down, so these Seeker tanks just poking in and manage to take out one more of these very heavily damaged harvesters, so forcing TiberianFuture to pull them off the line as well. And it's just forcing these infantry to kind of run around, so it's TiberianFuture being very reactive in this situation, trying to deal with these very mobile units from Masterleaf. And Masterleaf's just capitalizing on that by poking in, taking out whatever he can, and then falling back without taking too much damage. So nice trading there coming out from Masterleaf. That's exactly what you need to be seeing. Looks like he's going to sell off one of the refineries there. Good move, getting that eco back. And he's got full eco on this field as well. Actually, no, he needs to transition some harvesters over here. He's only got 3 harvesters, 2 refineries. But that tier 3 is done, and he has a warp sphere here as well. It's looking like he's reinforcing with more of those gunwalkers. So realizing that the infantry transition is out for TiberianFuture, gunwalkers not a terrible idea whatsoever. Seeker tanks obviously not going to deal with this infantry too well, but the gunwalkers as well as the Buzzer Swarm support power and the Buzzer Hive should be enough to hold this off. And it looks like the gunwalkers are going to try to come in here and get some crushes. Looks like they will get some good crushes, but these Seeker tanks actually not being focused down at all. So really nice focus fire there from TiberianFuture. Unfortunately, just doesn't have the forces to actually destroy too much there. Did manage to take out a number of those gunwalkers, but honestly needed to be focusing down the Seeker tanks, because honestly the Seeker tanks are what are going to come in and destroy the remainder of his base and harvesters. But now there's still a decent number of these rocket squads here trying to hold the line. Looks like maybe another power plant going to be going down. More and more of this Seeker and gunwalker spam coming out from Masterleaf, so he is just content with going for really, really heavy Seeker and gunwalker play here. Maybe going to be seeing the tier 3 upgrade coming through in the form of the shard launchers. Seeing that there's just so many of those Seeker tanks out in the field, that would be really, really powerful upgrade to have. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it looks like something is nearly done. Yeah, shard launchers are going to be completed now, and that's likely going to be enough to destroy this base. The construction yard will be destroyed right there, forcing the sell-off of that refinery as well. And this is looking like it's going to be GG for TiberianFuture. He does have his tech lab, and it looks like his Redeemer is on the way, but it's only about halfway completed, and he still has to wait for the entire animation for that to finish. So yeah, it's looking like this is going to be it for TiberianFuture. Game number 2 looking to go in Masterleaf's favor. TiberianFuture throwing in the towel, and Masterleaf will be taking another victory here on Twilight City. So Masterleaf up 2-0 in his best-of-5 series. Could potentially be closing out with a 3-0 of TiberianFuture, or maybe we'll be seeing TiberianFuture coming back here in the next game. We'll have to see. We'll be jumping into game number 3 momentarily, so be sure to stick around. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 3 of this best-of-5 semifinal series between Masterleaf and TiberianFuture, and in the upper right-hand corner as the yellow screen, we have Masterleaf. Down in the bottom left-hand corner as the purple GDI, we have TiberianFuture. Totally brain farted on that one. But let's see what we have going on. I think I've got the guys set up properly. Yeah, there we go. So, there's the scoreboard. Apologies there, everybody, trying to get that squared away. But Masterleaf, he's up 2-0 in this best-of-5 series, so one more victory and he is golden to move on to the finals. But TiberianFuture, he chose the map here, so maybe he has some crazy GDI antics here for the good old small-town USA. So, interesting map choice, to say the least. But against Skrin, maybe not the worst. We'll have to see how this one ends up turning out. Maybe going to be seeing fast airfield to some tech. We'll have to see what TiberianFuture chooses to go for. It's really do or die for him, so he needs to be, I think, a little bit more aggressive than perhaps he has been in the last couple games. But Masterleaf going for that Warp Sphere. Just going to be going standard eco play. Maybe going to be seeing just straight up eco play here from TiberianFuture. I know he did go for the Flame Rush in the last game, and maybe that put him behind a little bit too much. Point where he wasn't really able to recover. But yeah, so Masterleaf just playing it safe, just going for eco play so far. Another Harvester comes out. Going to be seeing another refinery on the way. And he did say Aeonian Protocol engage, so I don't know what he's really got up his sleeve at the moment. I know that DevCore is pretty powerful, but I don't know if we'll necessarily see that in this matchup. So it doesn't look like it's going to be any early game shenanigans here. No fast tier 2, but it is going to be a Buzzer Hive being dropped there to kill off these guys. It is going to be the drone ship pack up there from Masterleaf, so going for that expansion. TiberianFuture going for the exact same thing. So these guys just going straight up eco here. Not hugely shocking. I would have maybe seen TiberianFuture going for maybe a little bit more of an aggressive play here, but again, he's up against Masterleaf and he's up against Skrin, so it's pretty powerful. But Masterleaf, he deploys really quickly here, so maybe going for kind of a fake quick expansion, and maybe going to be going for tier 2 straight away. Likely going to be seeing that on the way, so maybe going for a little bit of mind games here against TiberianFuture. And TiberianFuture, he does not have this scouted, so he needs to be careful. Masterleaf is going to be dropping that tier 2 down any moment. Yeah, there it is. So tier 2 coming down straight away, so going to be seeing maybe some Devourer tanks, maybe some Corruptors, or maybe a combination of the two. Oh, we have an APC out. Oh, it's looking like it's going to be maybe some APC engineers. This would be interesting, or it could be rocket squads. No, it is going to be an engineer, a little bit more common here. But APC engineers not something you see terribly often in Kane's Wrath, just due to the fact that there is a delay between the engineer capturing structure and when it begins. So Masterleaf, he is going to deploy his drone ship out on the bridge. It's going to be a little bit easier to defend it, but that makes it susceptible to quite a bit of Firehawk and Juggernaut damage. But we'll have to see how TiberianFuture chooses to respond to that. A couple of Harvesters going to be rallying up to the north. We do have a Devourer tank out on the field. Not sure if there's others lingering out there. I don't see anything at the moment. And, oh man, these APCs going to be getting caught out here by the Devourer tank. He's just going to be kind of circling around and destroying that. One APC does go down. I think that one had an engineer in it. We do have more coming through. And what's he going to do here? I don't know if he's going to go for the Tiberium spikes or what his plan is. Looks like maybe a little bit of a glitch out there. You see, just still kind of chilling out, not quite sure what he's doing. We do have a Devourer tank taking out another Harvester there. That's not going to be good at all. So Devourer tanks taking out Harvesters, not what you want to be seeing by any stretch of the imagination. And now this Devourer tank is charged up. It does have the support of this Lightning Spike as well. Going to be doing some damage to this refinery, actually doing lots of damage. And the fact that he can just continue to get charges off of this field is going to be pretty strong. Forces out the... it's going to be TiberianFuture cleaning up this main field, so he needs to get that expansion up and running, and he needs to get it defended. It's looking like he's trying to dig out these scouts, and that's not a bad idea at all, but Masterleaf, he's managed to grab scouts all throughout the map, and even though these guys don't have the ability to actually fire out of these structures, that map presence is just so strong. We have 2 refineries down and the radar scan coming in, so not quite sure what we've got on the way. We do have an airfield here for TiberianFuture, so we do have a couple of hammerheads as well. Maybe going to be seeing some orcas, but like maybe APMO hammerheads going to be on the way. Maybe going to be seeing some rocket squads, maybe some zone troopers. We'll have to see. We know Masterleaf has shown us all the power of the zone troopers against Skrin factions. We'll have to see if TiberianFuture can maybe take a page out of that book. But I would imagine Masterleaf is going to put on a lot of pressure here. He does have a number of these Devourer tanks. They don't really have an opportunity to grab a charge just due to the fact that that field is empty. But Masterleaf, he's taken big chunks off of this field so far. And he's got a large number, or rather a large amount of Tiberium here left to gather. So that'll keep him running for quite some time. We do have some more Predator tanks. Man, the range on those Predator tanks is actually pretty significant. I'm kind of surprised that they're managed to get shots off that far. But just de-garrisoning scouts, that's not a bad idea at all. Just trying to eliminate that map vision there from Masterleaf. But, oh, actually, we do have an APC engine. Oh my god, he got the drone ship! How did he get the drone ship? Yeah, so I did not see that at all. But there are 3 gravity stabilizers here from Masterleaf, so I don't think he's going to be too terribly concerned about it. It's going to be very annoying to deal with. Holy crap, he's got a lot of these Storm Riders, so man. TibFuture, he managed to grab that cheeky drone ship cap, but I don't know that it's going to be enough. There's really nothing to deal with these these number of Storm Riders. And we do have APCs with AP ammo upgrade done, and it's going to be AA batteries being dropped as well, but there's just so many of those Storm Riders. It's going to be so difficult to deal with. And in the meantime, what do we have? We have the Hammerheads rolling around, but man, they're just not going to be able to do anything against those guys. And luckily for Masterleaf, those Storm Riders don't actually have to land. And they're going to come in here and chase down these Hammerheads. No, it looks like they're going to not try to overcommit into the AA defense here from TiberianFuture. But man, TiberianFuture, he's taking quite a bit of losses here, and now the Devourer tank's coming in as well, going to be doing lots of damage. But man, the Storm Riders just coming in, just providing so much support, and they're going to be forcing off the Hammerheads, and the Devourer tanks are just allowed to outrange these units so easily. But where did the... Looks like they're going to come back in, maybe going to be looking to get some more shots up. So it's just going to be these guys trading units. It's going to be Devourer tanks for Hammerheads, and I don't know necessarily who comes out on top in that situation. I mean, the Hammerheads are pretty costly, but the Devourer tanks are pretty costly as well. But the Hammerheads are really the only mobile force that TiberianFuture has at the moment, whereas Masterleaf got pretty good map presence with that number of Storm Riders. And he's still got 3 gravity stabilizers, so he can continue to pump those guys out pretty heavily. He's calling back the ones that are really heavily damaged. That's pretty smart. But we do have a Reclamator hub down here for TiberianFuture, and he does have Tungsten as well. So Tungsten ammo done for TiberianFuture. That's going to give him a lot of opportunities to hold things off with those anti-air turrets. Maybe going to be seeing some of those slingshots coming out to try to support some attacking forces. We'll have to see. Firehawk's coming out, going to be trying to get some, with the missile loadout, it's going to be trying to pick off some of these Storm Riders. Sorry, everybody, I'm having a little bit of brain farts today. I don't know what's going on. But, oh, actually baiting these guys over the top, and going to be taking quite a bit of damage, losing, I think, 1 Storm Rider, a couple of slingshots, as well as AP ammo APCs. Jeez, I can't believe how many times I'm forgetting these unit names. But they're going to be forcing back the forces here from Masterleaf. These guys are just kind of chilling out in the north, just trying to hold the lines. Masterleaf, he did lose his drone platform, so that's going to set him back a little bit. He's most likely trying to get out some additional production structures, but looks like he does have that drone platform back out and running, and the Warp Chasm is already complete, and the Hex Pod should be popping out here any moment. But now it's looking like TiberianFuture is going to try to put some pressure onto Masterleaf at this point. He does have bomb loadout on those Firehawks. He's going to take out one of those refineries straight away, just denying a little bit of build radius there from Masterleaf. But Masterleaf, he does have that Hex Pod out on the field now, and a couple of tripods as well. That's going to be enough to force this ground army to fall back. There's really nothing to actually counter those tripods. There is a Marv here from TiberianFuture, a couple of engineers coming out to join it as well. He doesn't want to overextend that Marv because he will be losing it to the EMP from those tripods. Looks like Masterleaf's going to choose to go through the middle of the map. He does have the Shard Launcher upgrade. Those Seeker tanks are going to be super powerful, as well as the fact that his AA batteries are going to be so much more powerful. The Firehawks just kind of jockeying around, not quite sure what they want to do just yet, but Juggernaut's coming out on the field now for TiberianFuture. Looks like they may get caught out here by a couple of units from Masterleaf. The tripods will definitely finish that off. The Storm Riders coming in as well, as we can see their shadows. There they are. But they are going to be coming in. Firehawks dropping that missile loadout, going to be trying to take down as many of those Storm Riders as they possibly can. They're going to be forced to cut and run. They do not want to land on that field, as they will just be absolutely annihilated by the Annihilator tripods. And they're going to be chasing away this Juggernaut. That Juggernaut should just turn and fire and try to get as many shots on these tripods as possible, but will be killed off nonetheless. Yeah, that Juggernaut does go down. Looks like the Marv is just kind of chilling out, playing defense at the moment. The Hexpot is going to come in, kill off that airfield, and going to be forcing TiberianFuture to rebuild that, but he needs to be careful. He's going to be losing his tier 2 here any moment. He does sell that off, so he must have rebuilt airfield somewhere. Yeah, so he rebuilt it on his Tiberian field. That will give him an opportunity to reload those Firehawks. And now Masterleaf, it looks like he may destroy this Tiberium spike. In the meantime, that wouldn't be a bad idea, just denying that additional eco. Set himself even further ahead. It looks like the Tiberium spike up in the north has been destroyed. And nope, he actually hasn't turned the Hexpot on that Tiberium spike just yet. Likely just dealing with things elsewhere. But Mastermind out on the field as well. Or Masterleaf, not quite sure what his plan is with that. He does teleport the Hexpot back, so he's going to leave that Tiberium spike alive. Interesting move there. But it's likely due to the fact that he is being pressured here by this force that is moving forward. And now TiberianFuture going with the slow roll of the GDI Death Ball. He definitely doesn't have a huge force, and the Juggernauts are way out of position. They need to be pushing forward with the Marv. Oh, a stasis shield coming in on that Marv, going to be locking it down. The tripods can definitely get in range and EMP that. Now the Juggernauts need to be careful. Oh, the Hexapod teleports right on top of these guys, drops 3 of the Juggernauts instantly, and man, there's just nothing here to stop this Eradicator Hexapod. Once that Marv comes back on live, it's going to be EMP'd straight away. Oh no, actually the tripod's not in range, and it's going to give the opportunity to TiberianFuture to kite away with this Hexapod, or rather with the Marv here, and he will be killing off a number of these tripods, but it's not going to be enough. The Hexapod will be coming through here, and it will get some final shots. Does teleport the Hexapod forward, trying to draw some fire. That Marv does go down. Firehawks coming in once again. Will be getting some shots off. Do manage to take out a couple of those Storm Riders and do Stratofighter out, but it's going to be at the cost of, I believe, 2 of those Firehawks. So not quite sure what he is producing at the moment. Likely just some more Juggernauts. Looks like he does have EMP grenades upgraded as well. He does have the composite armor as well, so those infantry are going to be able to take a little bit more damage. Interesting that he'd go for the composite armor, seeing that he doesn't have a huge amount of infantry at this point. Maybe he's planning on going for an infantry transition here in the near future, or maybe just trying to give these EMP grenadiers a little bit more of an opportunity to actually come in and do some real damage. Oh, but a couple of assimilators here could potentially be getting killed off by these Grenadier squads. Oh no, but not before they get the capture on that Juggernaut, and it's going to be forcing the EMP out on that Juggernaut there. What do we have going on down in the south? We do have just a mass harvester rally here from TiberianFuture, going to be going to grab that Tiberian for himself. But oh, we did have the Buzzer Swarm support power coming in. Looks like this Grenadier squad is going to get away with just a single member of its squad alive. But the Juggernauts are going to be continually destroying these guys on the front lines. Wow, tons and tons. Holy crap, just assimilators like you wouldn't believe. I think he's got 7 assimilators there. Not quite sure what his plan is with those. He's just trying to grab back those artillery units the second they go down, but that's a lot of assimilators. The drone ship is going to be moving forward here, so maybe looking to go for a bit of a base push and just force TiberianFuture out of this game. But TiberianFuture, he's going to hold on for as long as he can. This is his final opportunity to stay in this tournament. He does have 3 Juggernauts, could potentially be holding the line. That Grenadier squad will be getting cleaned up there by the Buzzers that are just moving forward, and they just absolutely crush those units. These guys are coming forward, likely just trying to get some scouting information on this base. Masterleaf wants to see what he's up against. Not quite sure where that drone platform is. It does deploy now, and it's looking like these forces are going to be pushing forward here for Masterleaf. So it's looking like it's going to be the slow push into this base. He does need to be careful, though. Those Juggernauts can do quite a bit of damage from a decent range. Oh, man, that Engineer, that is super risky. And, yeah, it gets immediately eliminated by the Devastator warship transition here out from Masterleaf. So a decent number of Devastator warships with those force fields upgraded will be coming in and just absolutely shutting down these Juggernauts. There's just no way to deal with it. Teleport comes in, and now TiberianFuture, his only damage output is actually being forced to kite around, and it's not going to be enough. The Hexapod will finally get some crushes off, and oh, but not until the Marv comes out. So Marv comes out, but no garrisons, and the tripods are here. Tons and tons of Devastator warships here as well. That was a super late Marv complete, but TiberianFuture has been defeated. Masterleaf taking a 3-0 victory and securing himself a position in the finals. So nice moves there from Masterleaf. A kind of drawn-out game. It was determined pretty early on once he went into that Storm Rider transition. He shut down TiberianFuture pretty hard right there, and he was just able to do pretty much whatever he wanted throughout the course of the game. He trapped TiberianFuture down in that bottom right-hand corner, and there was just no real coming back from that because he was just able to keep that economy up and running so much better than TiberianFuture. But TiberianFuture going with that cheeky drone ship cap. Totally missed it, but very, very interesting to see it. I would not have expected that to work, especially against Masterleaf. Masterleaf saying, can we wait 20 minutes for the final? Oh man, I don't even know what to say. All right, well, we'll be jumping into the finals here momentarily. It's looking like it's going to be... Actually, let's get a bracket update. I'm kind of curious how things turned out on the other side of the bracket. Let's pop that up for everybody to see. So, let's this a good old refresh. And, okay, so we saw Masterleaf versus TiberianFuture. Masterleaf taking a 3-0 victory there, and it's looking like Kimosabe took a 3-0 versus Encore. And I know Encore was dealing with some connection issues, so I don't know if he just got a free win there. But Kimosabe, he progressed on to the final, so we will be seeing Masterleaf versus Kimosabe here in the near future. Not quite sure when that will be. I know Masterleaf is saying that he needs to step away. It's a little bit unfortunate that it's going to happen now, especially seeing that we've got this best-of-7 finals coming up. So we're just going to check in on that, see what's going on in the lobby, see when those games are coming up, and I'll give you guys an update as soon as I know more. All right, guys. So despite my my pleading here, more or less, or rather expressing my distaste for the situation, it's looking like we're going to be taking about a 15 to 20-minute break at this point. Masterleaf has decided that he needs to step away for whatever number of reasons, which he's deemed necessary. So it seems as though everybody's kind of content with that being the case. So we're going to take a quick break, or rather extended break. So we'll be checking in here in a few minutes. I'm just going to step away and grab a couple of bites to eat. If you guys want to ask some questions, I'll be happy to field some questions from you guys. Obviously, we'll have plenty of time to answer them, so be sure to ask them in the chat. If you guys could, be sure to ask them at Sparty. It will make it a little bit easier when I'm sorting through the chat here to determine which ones are actual questions. You guys can ask me whatever you want. I don't care if it's what I thought about particular sports matches or the like. So be sure to get those questions in. We'll get a couple of questions asked. We'll do a little bit of a Q&A, I guess, since we're just kind of chilling around. I'm not a huge fan of the waiting periods, but hey, it is what it is. Not going to let it get us down too much. And we'll be jumping into the final series between Masterleaf and Kimosabe here. It will be a best-of-7 series, and that should be coming right up. So I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so we've got a couple of questions that have come in here. I am actually back here. I'm just kind of chilling out. So, Ian Lamacraft, which I believe that is Toxic Shock. Hey, Sparty, how are you so awesome? I'd say I'm just born with it, you know. It's something, you don't really become awesome. You are awesome. It's just how it works. Yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. At Sparty, how early did you get up to cast this? I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning. Probably should have got up a little bit earlier to allow myself some time to actually get my computer up and running and all my programs actually ready to go, so that way I didn't have the technical issues that I did this morning. But yeah, I was up at 6 a.m. It is Sunday for me, so That's pretty early for a Sunday on my end. I do wake up at about 6 a.m. for normal weekdays, but I prefer to not have to wake up early on the weekends, especially being sick. Yeah, that's when I woke up. At Sparty, what do you think of custom maps, as in maps not created for tournaments, but like Comp Stomp or Tower Defense or mission maps? I actually do enjoy them from time to time. I have been known to play a Tower Defense map or two. I've played some tank missions. I enjoy casual gaming, so I enjoy, you know, seeing what players are able to come up with, or, you know, content producers are able to come up with, as far as, you know, those mission maps and things like that. It's really cool to see the different scripts and stuff that go into work, so I'm always very impressed. I really like the new Control Zones game mode that Predator has released, so that's actually really cool. I've been having a lot of fun playing that, and I've actually gotten decently good at it. I've played, I think, against Phantom. I know I've played a bunch against Cybert. I think Cybert actually posted one of our games. I played really terribly in that game, but it was a fun game nonetheless. But yeah, custom maps, particularly non-tournament or non-competitive maps, I guess you could say. I enjoy them. I don't play them all that often, but then again, I don't play the game all that often. That's due to a number of reasons, which I could go into, but I don't really feel like doing that right now. Spartacus must work for CNN. No. In case you were wondering, this is definitely not my chosen profession by any stretch of the imagination. I do this strictly for fun. So you'll notice that obviously my casts and videos are not quite top-notch quality, but hey, we have some fun doing it, and I hope you guys are at least enjoying the content. I feel like it's definitely improved since I first started, but it's been an interesting process. Sparty, what is your job? I work as a draftsman. I work particularly with like programs like AutoCAD and Revit. I do a lot of that stuff, and I do a lot of coordination with contractors. I work mostly as a kind of contact for our company, and kind of do all of the back-end work. I like to wear many hats, and not be terribly specialized, but I do specialize in a couple of different areas, but particularly with AutoCAD drafting. Alright, so it looks like a couple more questions have rolled in here in the meantime. At Sparty, what's... let's see. Sparty, why is your voice so OP? I disagree with you, sir. And I think you're a troll, so I'm going to stick with that. Incapaiza. You and your echoey mic, my friend. I've been on Skype chat, I think, once or twice with you now, and been an interesting set of conversations. But, yeah. I don't necessarily agree with you, but hey, if you guys enjoy it, then that's great. At Sparty, what's your favorite faction in Kane's Wrath? I'd have to say GDI. I just like GDI. Feels comfortable. It's a faction that I feel like you can be in pretty much any situation, still have an opportunity to come back from it. It's a relatively easy faction to defend with, just due to the fact that Predator tanks are so powerful, and their infantry actually aren't that bad either. So yeah, I'd say GDI all around. At Spartacus, Fokker177 is a big fan of yours. Yeah, I would imagine he's probably not. If you're being serious, then that's great. Thank you very much. I certainly appreciate it. But I would imagine you might be trolling a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, actually, it looks like Masterleaf is back. Looks like Kimosabe is maybe in a game. I think he's in a game with TiberianFuture at the moment. So now we're just waiting on Kimosabe to come back. Yeah, everybody, I apologize for the waiting time. I know it's kind of annoying to deal with, but hey, it is what it is. We're going to be bringing you guys the best of 7 finals here momentarily. It's going to be Masterleaf versus Kimosabe coming up any moment. I'm looking forward to it. Zypher Bullet at Sparty, do you have a manly beard? I do not. I could grow a beard, but I choose not to. I don't know why. It seems like beards are really in now, and they have been maybe for a year or two, especially in America. But yeah, I don't know. It's with me. I don't know, man. I sometimes I like having one, and then sometimes I don't. I get my beard grows in pretty quickly, so like I haven't shaved over the last 2 days, and I've got a decent beard at this point. You know, it's not like it would take me a month to grow in a beard. It's like if I don't shave for a week, I've got a full-size beard, you know, ready to go. But yeah, I don't know. I just prefer a more clean-shaven look, I guess. And Conquer Tiberium Saga. Spartacus, what's your favorite unit on Kane's Wrath? That's a tough question. I don't know. Unit. A really tough question, actually. I'm trying to think. Because I really like stealth tanks. I really like stealth tanks just due to the fact that they can be extremely powerful, and I mean, you can win games with a stealth tank. But the epic units are pretty cool too. But maybe we'll stray away from the epic units, more just the standard units. Favorite unit? I'd maybe have to go with Hammerhead. I think Hammerhead's... I'd say it's probably a throw-up between Hammerhead and Stealth Tank. Hopefully that answers that question. Ruben D saying at Spartacus, no, I'm serious, man. Okay, cool, man. Thank you. Martuk at Sparty, why don't you have a face cam like Cybert does? You can't look that bad. No, I agree. I don't think I look that bad. I certainly don't think that I'm the best looking guy in the world, but hey, I have done face cam. I do face cam on my twitch.tv channel, so that's mostly FPV stuff. I don't really feel that it's necessary to do a face cam on tournament casts, and I don't know, I feel like you guys would be staring at me for a long time when we're just sitting in these moments where not a whole lot's going on. And I don't know, that's a little bit uncomfortable for me. I don't want to just necessarily, you know, I want to be able to pick my nose and do these random things, you know. But no, there's no real reason for it. My overlay in this particular situation doesn't necessarily have a webcam set up, and I know I'm working on some new overlays in the near future. So you may see that coming up in the next couple of tournaments. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet. Sparty, would you rather have Spartacus 6-pack abs or Spartan 6-pack of beers? I don't know what Spartan 6-pack of beers is. I don't know if that's something specific. I'm not a huge beer drinker, to be honest, and I know that's kind of a quasi bad thing to say as a person of Irish descent, but I don't know. I'm not much of a beer guy. I enjoy a beer now and then, but it's not my go-to beverage of choice, adult beverage of choice. So I'd say probably I would go with the Spartacus 6-pack. Yeah, I'm working on that, but it's a lot of work. So if I could just get it for free, I'll take it. I can always buy a 6-pack of beer. Serious question, why Sparty? Why use Spartacus as your name? Curious. That's actually a good question. I've been using this name for a number of years, actually. Ever since I started gaming online, it actually stems back from an old original Halo team that I played on, and I was actually quite good back then. But yeah, it's just stuck with me through the time, and there's been various takes on it, but it's finally come out to either II Spartacus or Sparty. So that's pretty much the situation that we're left with. But the finals are coming up, so Q&A time is over. Finals are on the way. You guys can certainly still ask questions, but I don't know that I'll be able to necessarily answer them if this game gets started soon. But it's looking like game number 1 will be on Volcano Struggle, a map that I love and has been reworked by Predator to make it a little bit more acceptable, I guess, from the general community. They seem to be reasonably pleased with how things turned out. So this map should be pretty interesting. It's going to be Masterleaf versus Kimosabe, Scrin versus Nod by the looks of it. Yeah, we're going to be jumping in. Just waiting on... It is Phoenix to reconnect. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 1 of the finals, long-awaited finals. Going to be a best of 7 series here. We're kicking off on Volcano Struggle, and spawning on the left-hand side as the Cyan Nod, we have Kimosabe. On the right-hand side, spawning as the Green Scrin, and playing extremely well today, we have Masterleaf. Let me just make sure that I've got my overlay right here, and nope, I don't have it right. So... Sorry, tried to get this set up before we actually jumped in, but here we go, and it is 0-0, so we'll get that set up correctly. And, okay, so 0-0, best of 7 series. Masterleaf not particularly happy about the map, but hey, too bad. Suck it up, sir. You're a good player. I know you can deal with it. And it's going to be shadow teams coming out from Kimosabe. Actually, only a single shadow team, I believe. So just going to be looking to defend his engineer here. Very wise decision. Those shadow teams obviously going to be able to shut down these buzzers very easily. Actually, no, there are 2 shadow teams here. Ooh, actually should turn around and kill off... Oh no, he's actually trying to defend this engineer. Oh, this is going to be so close. Okay, so he does manage to save that engineer, but he needs to get over here and snipe this assimilator from Masterleaf. Will he manage to get the kill on that assimilator? Oh, it's going to be so close. Oh, he doesn't get the kill. Oh, it's so close. So we will get the cap on that Tiberium spike, but we'll be losing out on that $500 option. His engineer here up in the north will be going for that Tiberium spike there. So Masterleaf, he actually... Oh no, okay, so he does have an engineer down here. He hasn't actually grabbed that Tiberium spike, so he's a little bit behind there, maybe wondering where his money is. Masterleaf, you forgot about your engineer, buddy. Okay, but there is a buzzer hive here, so it's Masterleaf trying to defend his power plants, realizing that there's a couple of those shadow teams running around. He needs to be really careful. I mean, he could potentially lose this if the shadow teams manage to sneak up that way. But it's going to be just some militant squads focusing down this garrisonable structure. A couple of militant squads here. Be able to focus that down pretty quickly. A couple of shadow teams here coming in from Kimosabe. Doesn't look like they're actually going to get eyes on the fact that this engineer is just kind of chilling here. But the fact that that's just sitting there is not good for Masterleaf. He does manage to get the kill on one of the power plants. Does put Masterleaf in a low power mode. That's going to be extremely difficult to deal with. They're going to be setting him a little bit behind. But Kimosabe, wow, he's gone for a super fast expand. Okay, so Masterleaf, he's going to be seeing this now. He does have a Seeker tank here. There's nothing really here to defend these harvesters, but I don't think he has to be too worried about it. That one Seeker tank will take quite a while to actually destroy one harvester, and likely can produce a single Scorpion tank and fend that off pretty well. But what do we have going on here for Masterleaf? Not a whole lot going on. Still has not captured this Tiberium spike. I'm really shocked. I mean, Masterleaf doesn't strike me as the player that would forget about stuff like that. But maybe just trying to deal desperately with these shadow teams. It's very difficult to deal with these because you don't really know where they're coming from. And they can just swoop in, take out a power plant, and then bug out. So it's really annoying. But Nerve Center down for Masterleaf. Very interesting that he'd go fast near Nerve Center opposed to going Eco. Maybe realizing that he's up against shadow teams. Wants to try to push the maybe anticipated eco advantage that he has here by getting some Devourers out and just pushing Kimosabe into a bad situation. But Kimosabe, he doesn't seem too phased by it. He does have that expansion up north. He does have 2 refineries on this main field. And he's already sending harvesters up to the north as well. So he's getting his eco up and running pretty heavily. We have Devourer tanks coming out from Masterleaf at this point. Maybe just trying to hold the line against the inevitable buggy, but I don't know that it's a huge issue. There's a couple of shadow teams. Oh, they could be getting picked off here. No, they do not actually go down. So Kimosabe doing a great job of keeping those shadow teams alive, especially against Masterleaf. That's a pretty difficult feat, but Masterleaf has managed to grab that Tiberium spike now. He's finally realized that it's not under his control, and he'll grab that. So, well, actually, wow, that beam came in like right on my screen there. That was really weird. But Ichor Seed coming down here for Masterleaf, going to be grabbing some additional eco on this field. It's going to give him a little bit of an opportunity to stay on that field and just continue to mass units. But it's going to be Bike Buggy here coming out from Kimosabe. I don't know about that, especially against Devourer tanks. Definitely not going to be ideal, but it's going to give him a lot of map control here. And he should be able to secure a lot of this blue Tiberium for himself, no problem. But a couple of Devourer tanks here coming out through the middle of the map. Could potentially be doing lots of damage here. We'll have to see if Masterleaf chooses to continue to push forward. He doesn't have much in the way of supporting units, though, so he needs to be pretty careful not to overcommit to that attack. A couple of Scorpion tanks here just cleaning up that Seeker tank. Again, not terribly shocked to see that, but only 3 harvesters here on this field. There should definitely be more harvesters on this main field. I'm not quite sure where they're all at. It looks like there's a decent number of harvesters up on this expansion field, but really not enough saturation on that main base. But, oh, it looks like the Buzzer Swarm support power did come in, managed to kill off a decent number of rocket squads, and it looks like they're going to try to sneak away. Masterleaf could honestly just cut and run with these guys and use them as scouting. No, he does go back, and he's actually going to lose all those forces. Mechapede's coming out, so it's a fast tier 3 here for Masterleaf, and the Mechapedes are going to absolutely shut down the Bike Buggy. Oh, actually, the final shots from that bike going to be able to kill off that Mechapede. That's going to be really annoying. Masterleaf is not going to be liking that at all. So Kimosabe trading pretty well there. But now Masterleaf, he's moving out with a couple of Devourer tanks, likely going for the expansion. Maybe looking to put some pressure on those harvesters, but he needs to get some stealth detection in his force there. A couple more scouting squads here from Kimosabe, doing a nice job of just getting eyes on the map. And the Bike Buggy here coming in. Obviously, Devourer tank's going to absolutely shut them down. A couple of Mechapedes rolling around, or rather a single Mechapede rolling around. Needs to be careful not to overextend and get himself caught once again. But man, that Mechapede just does so much damage, and these Devourer tanks just absolutely capping bike after bike. Being forced to expend shots on these militant squad members, that's not necessarily the best thing, or the best use of those charged up Devourer tanks, but now a couple of tripod moving in here. Oh, that Mechapede does go down to some nice bike shots, so really nice control here from Kimosabe. Minefield does come in, but it's not going to be in time to actually do any damage to that tripod, and now this tripod has an opportunity to get some serious crushes on these harvesters. Wow, the harvesters just going straight through the legs. That's actually kind of shocking. And all the harvesters being pulled off the line here. and now these Mechapedes are just absolutely killing off all of these units the second they come out of this Hand of Nod. And that's not good at all. It's just money down the drain for Kimosabe. Drops another Hand of Nod, but another Mechapede coming up here for Masterleaf. So that one base fast tech is just absolutely devastating. And that one tripod sitting on the outskirts just raining death and destruction down on this base. Looks like he will cap off a refinery there. Looks like he's going to be able to kill off the other refinery. That's going to leave Kimosabe in a really tough situation. He's still powering Bike Buggy, but honestly, against this force, it's not going to be what he wants. This base is pretty much gone, and honestly, his MCV is probably gone as well. I don't really know how he's going to be able to stop this. And in the meantime, actually, no, we do have Mackie Bob, which is going to be Kimosabe calling the GG. Doesn't look like Masterleaf intends to return the favor, but Kimosabe has been defeated. Masterleaf going to be taking game number 1 in his best-of-7 finals. So once again, a fast and furious game number 1, 7.5 minutes there, coming out in Masterleaf's favor there, going for that fast tech, despite being put behind by the early game shenanigans from Kimosabe, going with those shadow teams and just making them work so well. And didn't manage to get the kill on that engineer. I think that would have really been devastating for Masterleaf, but man, Masterleaf just took so long to capture that Tiberium spike in the upper right-hand corner. It probably could have gone a little bit quicker for Masterleaf, but hey, not too much to be worried about. He certainly still took a convincing victory there. Going to be putting him up 1-0 over Kimosabe. We'll have to see if he can maybe secure another victory here, or if Kimosabe can even up the score. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 2 of this best-of-7 final series for the Kane's Wrath Vanilla Mania tournament, 1 versus 1 tournament, and spawning in the upper right-hand corner of Tournament Airstrip as the green scrin, we have Masterleaf. And on the left-hand side, as the cyan nod, we have Kimosabe. So Masterleaf is up 1-0 in this best-of-7 series. And Kimosabe, he's got the map choice, so he chose to go with Airstrip. Not a map that we see terribly often these days, but a fun map nonetheless. Very open map, that's for sure. And a lot of the action ends up taking place kind of down in the south, or maybe even in the middle of the map. We see a lot of engagements kind of taking place up in this area. A lot of stuff raging on around this Tiberium spike. Should be interested to see how things turn out. But Masterleaf, will he go for the capture on that Tiberium spike, or he's going to leave it for some time? No, he's going to grab that straight away, so not going to be wasting too much time with that Tib spike this time around. Doesn't want to stray too close to that garrisonable structure. A decent number of buzzers here coming out from Masterleaf, so does he have a second assimilator? Yeah, he does, so he's going to be looking to secure this Tiberium spike for himself. Kimosabe trying to get away from those buzzers, but it's just delaying the inevitable. And yeah, Masterleaf's going to be able to grab this Tiberium spike no problem whatsoever. No shadow teams coming out this time from Kimosabe. We do have a single Raider buggy rolling around the map here for Kimosabe, likely just trying to get some scouting information. Might try to go down and try to snipe this Tiberian Spike, or at least get eyes on the fact that that Masterleaf has captured it. Kimosabe has grabbed his Tiberian Spike down in the south. He's just going standard eco so far, so not going to be any crazy flame rush, at least not straight away. And Masterleaf just going eco as well. He is up at Tiberian Spike over Kimosabe at this point, and we'll have to see if he's able to hold on to that Tiberian Spike throughout the course of the game. That'll make a huge difference in terms of income over time. Just a single buzzer here coming in from Masterleaf, going to be getting picked off there by the Raider buggy, but going to be getting eyes on a couple of those harvesters. Number of Seeker tanks here coming out from Masterleaf. Interesting move. Going to be going for 3 Seeker tanks prior to any additional harvesters. So he's going to be looking to put some pressure onto Kimosabe. 3 Seeker tanks. Oh, it's looking like he's actually going to might get a kill on this harvester that's going for the blue Tiberium. So Kimosabe, I don't know if Masterleaf like read this like a book or was just expecting this really early on, but holy cow. I mean, 3 Seeker tanks here. He's going to be able to kill off that harvester, and he's going to be able to stop that blue Tiberium income from going to Kimosabe. So really nice read there, just straight up blind read, I believe, coming out from Masterleaf. I don't know if he saw that harvester somehow, but yeah, he's going to be able to get a kill on that harvester. So those Seeker tanks have already done their job, and if they can manage to do any more damage, that's going to be just icing on the cake at this point. What else do we have going on here? Masterleaf is expanded down to the south. He does have that nerve center, so realizing that Kimosabe is likely going to be going into Bike Buggy, the Devourer tanks will likely be the quick counter. Masterleaf may be going for a fast tech into Mechapedes. Obviously, Mechapedes very strong against Bike Buggy as well, unless they're in very massive numbers, in which case the bikes will do quite a bit of damage if microed properly. What do we have going on the left-hand side? We do just have a Seeker tank that's just poking damage onto that Tiberium Spike. Nothing too much to be worried about. Looks like a couple of Scorpion tanks are going to rally down there to stop that from being destroyed. But just some more harvesters going down on this southern expansion. Maybe another refinery on the way. It looks like another harvester is on its way down here. So yeah, I have to imagine that there's probably another refinery on the way. Yep, another refinery. So straight up eco play here coming out from Masterleaf. He does have a quick tier 2. So maybe just trying to put that down in a bit of a defensive position. He does have a Devourer tank coming out as well. So yeah, interesting. I mean, Masterleaf did call out that he knew, or rather was anticipating, that Kimosabe was going to go for Bike Buggy on this map. Obviously, Bike Buggy pretty good because it gives you a lot of map pressure and gives you pretty good control over the majority of the map. But Devourer tank's going to shut that down pretty hard. But honestly, they're going to do pretty well against Scorpion tanks as well. So interesting move here from Kimosabe. He's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. I mean, if he goes for Bike Buggy, yes, he's going to get that map control, but once Masterleaf masses up to a decent number of Devourer tanks, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot against it. Masterleaf just getting some more scouts down here in the south, trying to get eyes on this base, but he does still manage to hold on to that Tiberium Spike in the middle of the map. Seeker tanks rolling around here. They do have the attenuated force field, so nice move there from Masterleaf to get that upgrade early. It's going to be able to sponge a bit more damage, especially from these Scorpion tanks. I don't believe that Kimosabe actually has tier 2 at this point, so no Dozer Blades on the way, at least not in the foreseeable future. Maybe seeing a tier 2 on the way now that we do have the second War Factory down. Like another power plant drop there. A couple of Scorpion tanks up in the north just coming back. Looks like they are going to be coming back. They don't want to necessarily fight this horse here. Just coming in, just showing some presence on the map. And Masterleaf going for the expansion now. Does have a stasis chamber, so he does have an opportunity to get a nice stasis shield down on these forces. Could potentially do that right here and then lock down all of these tanks. And yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do. Nice move there for Masterleaf. I kind of figured that's what that stasis chamber was for. And he's going to lock down all of those tanks. He's going to give himself an opportunity to do some eco harassment. And the Devourer tank should be able to kite these Scorpion tanks. Oh, but nice mine drop here coming out from Kimosabe. It's going to be forcing these Seeker tanks to just remain in position without actually moving. And now that these Scorpion tanks are actually online, they should be able to do quite a bit of damage. Should be able to kill off these Devourer tanks, no problem. And then it should be able to clean up the remainder of these Seeker tanks. So pretty costly engagement for both sides, but I definitely say that Masterleaf probably came out on top in that situation. Losing a couple of Devourer tanks, though, those are pretty expensive units, but did take out a couple of harvesters. A couple more harvesters coming down from the north. Oh man, Masterleaf attacking in the north as well. I don't know how many harvesters he managed to kill, but he does have a lightning spike up here as well. Managed to do quite a bit of damage to this power plant, but they are going to be pulling back. So nice moves there from Masterleaf, just attacking in the north and in the south, and just forcing Kimosabe to react in both locations. So he has expanded to the middle. He's gone for a more aggressive drone ship placement, and will give him an opportunity to drop base defenses a little bit further forward. And the terrain has been changed here, so it kind of prevents the base push of this area. There's a lot of terrain deformations here, but not too much to be worried about. Another harvester potentially going to be going down. No, Kimosabe does save that, and does actually call in the... That was an interesting choice with the decoy army. I would have maybe decoy armied the Scorpion tanks, just because they're going to be able to push forward and do some damage to these Seeker tanks, but they do have the Dozer Blade upgrade, so they're going to be able to sponge a lot more damage. One more Scorpion tank being killed off there. The Seeker tanks in the north have managed to come back in, so Masterleaf doing a lot of push and pull here, and he's going to be killing off another Harvester here, another full load of Blue Tiberium, or rather, I think this is the first load of Blue Tiberium from Kimosabe, but that one will be going down. And it's just straight up Seeker tank spam here coming out from Masterleaf, and it doesn't seem like Kimosabe really has any way of stopping it. He does call the GG, and Masterleaf will be taking game number 2. So another quick game here, just going under just short of 8 minutes, but Masterleaf just going straight up Seeker tank spam. Interesting move. He did go for the fast tier 2, so he had a couple of Devourer tanks, but maybe realizing that Kimosabe wasn't going for Bike Buggy, just decided to use that tier 2 for the attenuated force field and go for just really heavy Seeker tank spam. And apparently he was able to get that up and running a lot quicker than Kimosabe was, and just was able to do quite a bit of damage. That stasis chamber just did so much work for Masterleaf, so the one click's coming in really in favor of Masterleaf in that situation. We'll have to see if Kimosabe has any way of reacting to this coming up in game number 3. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 3 of this best of 7 final series. We are on the map Tournament Rift, and spawning in the upper right hand corner as the cyan nod, we have Kimosabe. On the left hand side as the blue screen, we have Masterleaf. Let me just swap the scoreboard around here. These guys did swap positions on me, so give me just 1 second to actually get that squared away. But Masterleaf, Kimosabe chose the map here, and he chose to go with Rift. This is a map that Masterleaf is particularly strong on, so we'll have to see if Kimosabe can make something work, if he's got something in mind. But he is down 0-2 at this point, and he's going for a decent number of engineers. I don't know if he's got shadow teams on the way or out on the field. It doesn't look like he does. He's going for both of the bottom tip spikes, so this is risky. Oh no, there it is. Okay, so the shadow teams are out on the field, so he does have an opportunity to stop these buzzers, but more than likely, Masterleaf's just going to see that he went for both of the bottom tip spikes. Oh my god! Oh, the shadow teams. Okay, well, I thought for a second there that the shadow teams were like way over in this position, and they didn't have any protection for these two engineers. But Masterleaf, he's going to be seeing that he's up against shadow teams. He's going to be automatically dropping down a buzzer hive just to defend his reactors. So smart move there to keep those alive, and does get a free scout into the base of Kimosabe. So nice move there. Kimosabe, he opened up with a decent number of scouts as well as the shadow team, so he's going to be a good bit behind Masterleaf here in the early game, but once these tip spikes start pumping in the eco, he's going to catch up really quickly. So it's going to be up to Masterleaf to try to deny that economy advantage by maybe going and capturing the Tiberian spikes for himself, or just going for some early aggression. We'll have to see what he chooses to go for, but Masterleaf, he does still have a scout here in the base of Kimosabe. It doesn't seem like Kimosabe's too concerned about it. He does have a militant squad here. Looks like maybe he's going to use that to kill this guy off. I don't know where that buzzer actually ended up. Okay, there it is. So that buzzer will be killed off, only manages to take out one member of that militant squad. That's a little bit unfortunate. The Seeker tank coming out for Masterleaf. He's already up to 4-2 at this point, and likely just using the Seeker tank to try to scout out where those where those shadow teams are, and it looks like they did manage to come in. I don't know what they actually hit. I don't know if they actually hit anything, to be honest. But the Seeker Tank is going to chase them away. They do not want to go into fly mode because they're going to take a lot more damage from the Seeker Tank, just due to the fact that they're considered aircraft at that point, and the Seeker Tank does a lot more damage to aircraft than they do to infantry. So needs to be careful about that. Sells off the Buzzer Hive. That's interesting. Maybe just being really confident in the fact that he's going to be able to keep up with these shadow teams. Oh, but a Buzzer Swarm support power coming in, completely cleaning up both of those shadow teams, and that's going to be eliminating that threat from the map. So quick tier 2 once again from Masterleaf. It seems like that's going to be the order of the day for him, and it's working really well so far. Kimosabe, what does he have in the meantime? He's got a couple of Scorpion tanks out here to defend against these early game Seeker tanks, but again, Masterleaf, he does have that tier 2, so he does have an opportunity to drop down the repair drones, and then if he goes into a warp sphere, or rather not a warp sphere, but a portal into a stasis chamber, he could potentially drop a stasis shield as well. So gotta be really careful. And another War Factory coming down here from Kimosabe. Nice move there. Double War Factory Scorpion tank would not be a bad idea in this situation. But gonna be selling off some Shredder turrets as well. Again, not a terrible idea. But a number of buzzers kind of rolling around here. Looks like they're gonna try to kill off that militant squad, just to avoid the wasted fire here from these Seeker tanks. Let's see what Masterleaf is up to in the meantime. There is a bike here that's just harassing this drone platform. I actually got that drone platform down pretty heavily. Looks like he managed to get a lot of shots on that drone platform. There's a Seeker tank here, which will finally clean that up. But up in the north, it looks like Kimosabe has managed to hold the line against this force. And I'm not sure if Masterleaf just expended all of those forces, or if he actually pulled them back. But Masterleaf, he's got 2 harvesters here on this blue Tiberium, and it's looking like he's going to manage to get away with 2 full loads of blue Tiberium. May actually clean up the majority of this field as well, so that's going to be pretty devastating if he's able to get away with that. But all the Seeker tanks rallying down to the south, and the Scorpion tanks are going to give chase. It looks like they will get one more kill, potentially be getting some more if they can manage to drop them into that heavy damage mode. It doesn't look like they will be able to, though. They are going to kind of split up across this rift area here, but again, we won't focus too much on that battle. It doesn't seem like it's going to be going too much further than that. Number of Seeker tanks here. More than likely, Kimosabe is just continuing to chase with these guys because he doesn't want those Seeker tanks to just come down here and just get kills on those Tiberium spikes. But a nice scout here coming in from Kimosabe. It looks like it may get picked off here by the Seeker tanks. No, actually, it looks like it could get away. No, it will get picked off. So attenuated force field coming online once again for Masterleaf. So really going for that heavy Seeker tank spam. Very interesting. Not something you see all that often, but Masterleaf is making it work really well. And double War Factory production here coming out from Kimosabe. Still going for Scorpion tanks at this point. Does he have tier 2? No tier 2 on the way, so no Dozer Blades just yet, but attenuated force field's done for Masterleaf. So there's a tech advantage in the favor of Masterleaf. He's also ahead in terms of economy now, as he already has that economy up and running on its expansion. He has 2 refineries here. He does drop down the portal, likely going to be seeing a stasis chamber, maybe going to be seeing a tier 3, I don't know. We'll have to see what it's going to end up being. But a couple of his simulators, it looks like, are coming out, going to be looking to secure some of those bottom tip spikes. Not a bad idea at all from Masterleaf. He realizes that he has the map pressure here early on, and wants to push Kimosabe back and then secure those tip spikes for himself. And once again, Masterleaf going for this pincer move. Got these forces in the north, and then he's moving in the south as well. Kimosabe, he's got forces all across the map as well, so may not be caught out as much by this as he was in the previous games. But it does look like they managed to get a decent amount of that HP of that power plant. A couple of Scorpion tanks here going to be contending against this force. Looks like they should be able to kill this off. Kind of spreading out the damage on these tanks. I don't know that that's necessarily what he wanted, but a couple more Seeker tanks coming through the middle of the map, just doing more and more raiding here. So it's looking like he's maybe trying to get into the Tiberian field, maybe trying to get some kills on some harvesters, but he's kind of overextended. I think he's realized it now. And no, actually, he's got a decent force here. I didn't even realize how many Seeker tanks there were. And he's going to be milking some of these Scorpion tanks as they're coming out, but more Scorpion tanks going to be joining the battle. And let's take a look in the base of Masterleaf. What's he up to in the meantime? He does have that stasis chamber down, so he does have the opportunity to drop that stasis shield at any point in time. And we'll have to keep an eye out, see where that ends up happening. But we do have a Raider buggy out in the north, just continuing to scout for Kimosabe. So good job on Kimosabe's side to keep that scouting up. But tier 3 is done for Masterleaf, and he's gone straight for the expansion. It looks like there is a tier 3 upgrade on the way, so likely going to be the shard launcher upgrade once again, or Masterleaf realizing that he's gone really heavy into Seeker Tank spam. Honestly, a avatar transition here would not be the worst thing in the world, but it seems like it's just going to be straight up Scorpion Tank spam. So either avatars or maybe even double MCV could potentially work with the double obelisk drops, but honestly, he's just got to keep these tanks alive. Decent number of heavily damaged tanks, though. Needs to be careful not to expend too many units for no real gain. And there's attack down in the south, but more forces moving in the north. So the speed of these Seeker tanks really working to Masterleaf's advantage, just forcing Kimosabe to react all over the map, and just allowing Masterleaf to do whatever he wants in the meantime. He does have this expansion. It has not actually deployed his drone ship. Kimosabe can see that he is expanded here, but it looks like these guys are going to part ways at this point. Dozer Blades is done, so those tanks have quite a bit more HP, or rather armor at this point, and should be able to take quite a bit more frontal damage. Getting some shots on the rear armor on that tank, that one's going to go down straight away, but the sheer numbers here, I think, is going to be working really heavily in Masterleaf's favor. There are more tanks coming out. Actually, wow, fast laser capacitors. I guess not fast. We're a decent way into the game at this point, but laser capacitors coming out. So these guys going really heavy on the tier 1 tanks. But it's going to be tripods out for Masterleaf as well, and likely going to be seeing these Seeker tanks just as the frontline force, and then the... oh, wow, okay, so the stasis chamber does come down, or rather the stasis shield does come down, locks down all of these Scorpion tanks, just trying to prevent that drone platform from being destroyed. Now all of the forces from Masterleaf are going to have an opportunity to respond to this. So nice stasis shield use there by Masterleaf. He's going to get an assimilator out just quickly to repair that drone platform, because it looks like Kimosabe is just going to have to try to expend these units to try to kill that drone platform. He does not have the damage output to actually destroy it, though, and all of those forces will be lost. So that is an unfortunate engagement there for Kimosabe. Has forced out the stasis chamber, though, or rather the stasis shield from Masterleaf, so that is on cooldown. Not going to be able to be used in the near future. And now the tripods are going to be coming forward. That tripod should be going down very quickly. Yeah, honestly, the Seeker tank should be coming forward and just sponging as much damage as possible. And then the tripods on the back lines just doing the DPS. But yeah, these guys are pulling back. No, they're going to continue to push forward. Oh, they are exposing the harvesters here. So a couple of harvesters here from Kimosabe, which look like they were maybe on an auto rally, do manage to get cleaned up. A couple of avatars out here for Kimosabe. Going to be able to force back these forces of Masterleaf, but he does have a storm column here, and that should be pretty good in holding back the avatars as well as the Scorpion tanks. Oh, that avatar extending way too far forward. That one will be going down, potentially be going into the hands of Kimosabe, or rather into the hands of Masterleaf. I'm not sure what that was, but it looks like something was killed off there. Completely missed it. Obelisk on the front lines, that's looking like it could go down very quickly, and the attenuated force fields on these Seeker tanks are going to allow them to take a couple of shots as opposed to just going down from just 2 shots. A couple of Scorpion tanks here from Kimosabe going to be rolling through the middle of the map. Looks like he's going for a bit of a counterattack here, while Masterleaf seems focused on the middle of the map, and Masterleaf's going to use this opportunity to push forward. He's going to be trying to get into range to get some EMPs on these avatars, just trying to take away their damage output. And he looks like he's going to get EMPs on all 3 avatars, so nice micro there from Masterleaf, and he should be able to kill off all these units no problem. And we do have the Seeker tanks on the back lines just trying to kill off that obelisk as well, and with the shard launcher upgrade, that should be able to do it. And oh, actually nice mine drop there coming out from Kimosabe, be able to lock down the tripods. The tripods are taking quite a bit of damage, but are not going to actually go down here. One tripod did not actually take almost any damage at all. Does manage to EMP that avatar, managed to EMP the War Factory as well. Not a whole lot going on down south. Let's see up in the main base. It looks like this force has been cleaned up by a couple of avatars, or rather tripods here from Masterleaf. And Masterleaf still just pushing forward with the avatars, or I'm sorry, with the tripods. And the GG comes in from Mackie Bob. So Kimosabe has been defeated once again, bringing Masterleaf up 3-0. So once again, Masterleaf kind of dictating the pace of the game, going really heavy into the Seeker tank spam early on, and getting those tier 2 upgrades really quickly, and going into some tripod production behind that, just allowing the Seeker tanks to still do quite a bit of damage on the front lines, but they'll be able to tank quite a bit more damage as well, and that allows the tripods on the back lines to just absolutely rain death and destruction down on those guys. So Nice moves there from Masterleaf. He picks himself up at game 3 and puts himself at potentially match point here for the next game. Alright everybody, and welcome to game number 4 of this best of 7 finals series for the Kane's Wrath Vanilla Mania tournament. And spawning on the left hand side of Tournament Badlands as the Cyan GDI, we have Kimosabe. And in the upper right hand corner as the pink Scrin, very, very scary looking pink color, we have Masterleaf. So, let's just swap the scoreboard around. These guys keep switching sides on me and it's killing me here. Get these guys swapped out. Score updated. Sorry everybody, I know this is taking a little bit longer than it probably should. But there we go, we are up and running, and it's looking like Masterleaf's actually going to open up with a number of disintegrators here. This is an interesting move. Tournament Badlands being the choice of Kimosabe since he lost the last game. So interesting move there to go with the Tournament Badlands. But a number of disintegrators here. Disintegrator Rush, not terribly common coming out from a screen player, but oh, actually a nice foxhole here coming out from Kimosabe. Should be able to kill off. No, does not kill off that Buzzer squad. As you can see, that Buzzer has literally no HP left, maybe 1 point left, but it's very, very low. It looks like Kimosabe just going for standard eco play here, nothing too crazy. Yeah, it's looking like it's just another refinery on the way, so not going to be seeing a fast airfield here. Some scout engagements up in the north, not too much going on, and it's looking like Masterleaf's actually going to use this opportunity to take out the Tiberian strike of Kimosabe. That's actually a pretty nice move. Obviously, the disintegrators have been scouted, so they're not going to have an opportunity to really do too much more infrastructure or eco damage, but taking out that Tiberian spike down in the south, not a bad idea at all. But straight up eco play here coming out from Masterleaf up in the right-hand side of the map. Again, not terribly shocking. Probably going to be seeing the same tactics out of him. Likely going to be some more Seeker tanks. Maybe seeing something a little bit different, but the Seeker tanks have just been working so well. We do have an APC out with a Rifleman squad garrisoned inside. Going to be trying to contend against these disintegrators. Wants to try to save this Tiberian spike down in the south, and it looks like that APC should be enough to actually kill these guys off. Should be able to kite them back pretty easily. Masterleaf doing a nice job of using the terrain to his advantage. He's going to come forward. He's going to try to get the kill on that APC. Oh, it's going to be close. No, the APC will win out in that situation, but nice move there from Masterleaf to almost get a victory in that situation. It looks like Masterleaf is going to move out with that Buzzer squad. We do have a Rifleman squad, which has managed to make it into the base of Masterleaf. That's a nice move there. He's going to be getting eyes on the base to see what Masterleaf is up to. Masterleaf, he's already gone for the expansion. It looks like maybe... Nope, it is going to be a portal. That's an interesting move. I don't know if he's planning to go again for a fast stasis chamber or the deal may be, but we do have the Buzzer Hive being dropped there. It does kill off that scouting squad. Wow, Kimosabe. Okay, so he's expanded really aggressively. But Masterleaf has eyes on this, so this is really interesting. He drops down a War Factory here, so I don't know what his plan is. He's got APCs out. Or rather just that single APC. It looks like he's sold off his War Factory back in his main base. Okay. I don't know what Kimosabe's plan here is, but it looks like he's going for much an all-in base push at this point. And he's up against disintegrators, so these Predator tanks are pretty much useless. Needs to be dropping some watchtowers, and hopefully a mine drop is coming out in the near future. Needs to be pulling this APC back. Nope. Oh, trying to get a mine drop, but does not manage to do it. And man, that's a lot of disintegrators. I don't know that he's really got enough anti-infantry to actually kill this off. Oh, drops the stasis shield on that War Factory, locking down all of those units. Drops another War Factory before his MCV goes down, but the MCV is down, and this is looking like it's going all Masterleaf's way, and I don't know how he's going to be able to get himself out of this. The only production structure left for Kimosabe is actually this War Factory, and once that comes unstasis, it's just going to be focused down straight away by Masterleaf. Yeah, there it goes. Going to be focused down right away, and yeah, there's literally no other production structures. GG coming in from Kimosabe, and that is going to be it. Kimosabe has been defeated. Masterleaf taking a 4-0 victory in this tournament, and a very, very quick game number 4. So very, very weird strategy coming out from Kimosabe. It looks like it was read pretty well by Masterleaf, just spamming out those disintegrators. So nice play there from Masterleaf, but good effort on Kimosabe to try to throw something a little bit different at Masterleaf, maybe try to throw him out of his comfort zone. But Masterleaf just showing his power there. He's going to come through with a victory in the series as well as a victory in the tournament. So a big congrats coming out to Masterleaf, taking the victory in a fantastic fashion, taking a 4-0 victory in the finals. And he will be the victor for the tournament. So Kane's Wrath Vanilla Mania tournament going in favor of Masterleaf. Second place going to Kimosabe, and I believe third place going to the uncontested TiberianFuture. So well played to everybody. Thank you everybody for showing up to the tournament. I believe we had 15 people sign up. I think we had 1 disqualification, so I'd say 14 people overall. But a pretty good turnout nonetheless. Not crazy amounts of turnout, but it made it a quick tournament, which is something that I actually kind of like. It's a little bit quicker to get through, and makes the finals a little bit more interesting to watch. But Masterleaf just playing so well, just absolutely smashing Kimosabe in those 4 games, and despite Kimosabe trying to put up his best effort. And yeah, pretty good set of games today. I saw some interesting Scrin factions being used. Honestly, did not see Scrin being the faction to win the tournament overall. Figured it would maybe be Nod or GDI, but nice to see Masterleaf choosing to go with Scrin and making that work. We saw some nice Scrin play coming out from TiberianFuture earlier as well, so very, very interesting games to say the least. But I've had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys have all had a blast as well. And this video will be posted on YouTube as soon as the stream goes offline, so you can be sure to check out all of the action that you may have missed a little bit earlier on. But thank you guys all very much for watching. I hope you've had fun, and I'll catch you all next time.